go.
We just got a real match.
Hey.
Let's go.
So this time we've got Maverick versus Student. We are on the legitimate first round.
Yo, Kaiser Sigma, thank you very much for the follow. Yo, Yondu coming down into darkness from Student.
And did you see what card got pinged just there?
I did not.
We missed it, guys. But Yondu, turn 1.
Big pass coming in from Maverick on turn 1. We have Squirrel Girl coming down. Now, instincts tells me that this is some sort of dwave.
Yeah, it would appear very deaf and very wave inbound from the Student. Welcome to the stream, Guifly.
Appreciate you.
So, Starlight Citadel moving the Monster Metropolis is the only real effect that it's going to have after turn 4. Wondering how much that's going to be playing on the minds. Obviously not as big as things like moving Space Throne, anything that's going to have a real effect on the cards in there, other than just the +3. Maverick having to skip all the way into turn 3 and then goes in for the retreat.
Not feeling the snap. Understandable.
Yeah, so at least in this instance, it would appear that Maverick's now got a taste for what Student's running.
I can't help but feel that I am back in Maverick. Even no offense to the Student, I've never met him before, but just because he was wronged at the beginning,
yeah, we'd love to see Maverick run it back. He's got some spice in the deck as well.
Yondu again. We've got Yondu in his Strange Academy and Nowhere coming down.
So Yondu into Strange Academy might not be too bad for Student. We know that in that deck they can get things blown up and messed around fairly early in the game. And
Student is running it back, this time building on mid instead of right. It's almost a mirror of the last game. Daredevil coming down on the left into Nowhere.
And a miniaturized lab on the right. Which...
Ooh. This is going to get majorly clogs. Strange Academy is actually going to fire everything before Miniaturized Lab opens up, so it's about who can get the most power into Miniaturized Lab on the finish.
I would feel with the Deathwave lines, if Student has pulled and can continue to run in the quote-unquote ideal way of the deck, probably got a bit of an advantage with that Miniaturized Lab.
I can see that. Could definitely see that. And we do know that there are a lot of powerful free drops in Maverick's deck. We'll see which one comes out this time.
It's going to be real tough for Maverick to try and take priority if he wants it as well, given that Student's now got the Squirrel in the mini lab and...
Oh, Student actually chooses to...
I say it.
chooses to get rid of that.
But yeah, Student keeping the priority, but does make this turn...
Daredevil popping off here. Snap coming down.
Snap coming down from Student before playing into the Daredevil. That is...
It's a fairly righteous move.
Ballsy.
Is this wave? It is.
It is. Wave on 5 and...
It's pretty brutal.
Yeah, Maverick should be able to see...
Understandable.
Yeah.
Understandable.
I think with the lines that we've seen from Maverick's deck so far, it looks like that Nowhere might have been a bit of a killer for him there as well.
It's not the best. That wave will seal the deal. Alright, moving into round 3. Both players very much still alive here. Dream Dimension. That is going to ruin Students' combos more than it'll hurt Maverick.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning that it'll only be able to drop Shulk with a less of a reduction.
Yeah. So it's absolutely vital to get some killing done as soon as possible this game.
Big passer on 1.
And it looks like that's the intention with the Bucky Barnes.
So Student chose against opening Yondu or Squirrel Girl this time, it would appear.
Yeah.
Monster Island coming down on 3. We've got Throne Room in the middle.
Monster Island, you'd imagine, probably sitting better in Maverick's favour, giving them more room to play, while Student has to be a bit more tactical about where they want to be destroying stuff.
We do see the classic Bucky on 2, Deathlock on 3 coming down on left for 11 power for Student.
It's a combo as old as time itself.
Oh, what's going on here? The deck lists are closed, but we do have access to them.
Yeah, so we see the deck lists, but for the sake of fairness between participants, we're not having the deck list open.
And G-Fly, if you do feel that your opponent used a different deck, you feel free to let us know and we can have a look.
No, I think stream should be able to hear you.
Should. Ooh. No problem. 1 second.
I will give you a quick call from the other account.
So we've got Enchantress coming down on the right. Killmonger came down mid. Now Throne Room is going to be particularly hard for Maverick to contest against the Deathwave deck. We do have Daredevil active. We're going to see if he wants to reveal Wave or not. Hey, appreciate you, Bong. Thank you so much, my dude. Wave is coming down on 5 once again. Is there a way for Maverick to overcome this? Deathwave Bean's getting weaker and weaker as the months go on, but weaker and weaker from very, very strong and oppressive. He's still pretty strong.
I think that's a fair assessment.
Right, so here comes the Wave. And here's the Max. Max is going to take Prio in the Throne Room, bumping up to 14 now. It's tense. How is Judah going to play around this? And here comes the arrow on left.
So Death and the Shang-Chi pulled into that lane, and that is big damage in play.
Jesus.
And that's 4 cubes to sway that difference from 2 cubes down now to 2 cubes up in Maverick's favour.
I am going to have to switch sides here after seeing the behaviour from Maverick. Giving it the BM with the what just happened on the aero play. Come on, Student.
Student did nothing wrong.
Student did nothing wrong. Free my boy Student. Tinker's Workshop coming down on the left, allowing people to play 2 drops on turn 1 if they are so inclined. We do know that Student's got Yondu and Squirrel Girl as 1 drops in his deck. And he does have them both in opener. Hitting his Zaboo. It's a stinger. Let's go, Student. It is looking like a Bucky Barnes coming down on 2 from Student, looking like he wants to destroy that mid lane. He does have priority, so there's not much that Maverick can do to stop him here in terms of doing that. Monster Island on the right again, running it back. The Student did tilt his cap last game, letting him know that he definitely does have Shang-Chi. Not that it's out of ordinary in the Deathwave deck. And it is going to be a retreat. from Maverick there. He's not feeling it.
Yeah, so seeming like Maverick just didn't quite have the same outs as he did last game.
Quickly shouting out Zofar and at the top. Thank you very much for the follow, yours. Big up your bad selves. Ooh, things just got incredibly real with Elysium on the left.
Elysium allowing turn 2 players to come on down on turn 1.
Culture classic, fan favourite.
Oh, we all love a bit of Elysium.
We've seen no location control from either players, so it does look like Elysium's going to be getting let rip. Squirrel Girl coming down, followed by the Yondu. Yondu ripping the Maximus here.
Ooh, that's a damager for the stat
And
lines.
the Bucky Barnes.
And Student with the initiative squirrels.
We've got Haller as location 2. Now, Student's not going to mind if he wins Haller or loses Haller with his deck list. And we've got the big Carnage coming down. It's an 8 power Carnage, 6 power Winter Soldier, 14 on the right lane. Very nice turn 2 there. He may be running out of gas fairly quickly in his hand, though. We'll have to see what he can do about it. Now, Wave did come down from Maverick, which is interesting. It's not a line we've seen too often from Maverick, and it does look like he's going to be trying to ram something big out here.
Yeah, but it seems like a turn 2 wave into a turn 3 1 card each isn't
Ooh,
potentially overly
it's Sarah to the Hobgoblin combo.
Wow.
Oh, hold tight yourself, PJs. What's going on, mate?
Hey, PJs.
Now, life points are slightly in Maverick's favour. Not by too much, though.
No, it's just by 1 after last round's retreat. So, it'd be interesting to see if either player wants to snap in this game.
Deathlock's going to chin the Squirrel on the left. So quite a few destroyers gone off now. 4 or 5, I do believe. A couple more now.
And we've got a Killmonger to mirror Killmonger.
Killmonger to Killmonger combination. Now this turn will decide the game more than likely. Snap coming down from Student. I think he's got it.
All points would indicate that Student has got the combo.
We'll see though.
Very interesting to see that Mavericks opted to go for that early Sarah with the Elysium making all of his stuff so cheap. But yet he knows that on Student's side. I'll get back to my thought in just a second because that is a big turn 5 pass.
The pass is going to bait the retreat from Maverick, threatening the She-Hulk that's, as far as I'm aware, not been revealed in the matchup quite yet.
Nope. So that's deaths on the board, threats of She-Hulk, and not enough power from Maverick to contest it, especially not getting one of his biggest stat line cards, Maximus, blown up.
And this is a high-stakes game now. Here comes the Boogle. Boogle reveals the She-Hulk, so we know that Student wasn't bluffing. He do be having it, though. He do be having things like She-Hulk.
Though having it, he do be. Bear Island in the middle could be probably, I would endeavour to say, in Maverick's favour. We know that Student wants to get things out on the board and get rid of them as quickly as possible, so unless he's got one of them bigger destroy combinations off, may end up having to concede or push a lot of power into Mir Island to contest it.
Low tempo into darkness, Yondu into Carnage for 4 power. However, he is never punished Gang and gets the Asgard, which could prove critical here. Mir Island definitely looking very strong for Maverick with his cards not going anywhere. Killmonger coming down on Student's side.
So Student absolutely wants to secure that Asgard because Killmonger is one of the main mechanisms for getting deaths off to cheapen down the deaths in this deck.
Everybody knows Killmonger's name at this point. Everybody knows.
The Skillmonger.
Skillmonger indeed.
But at the moment, Maverick just choosing that hand size and letting his opponent draw.
Maverick says if you're going to draw, you might as well fill your hand. Like, let me get this Maximus out for free real quick. Bucky Barnes coming down on turn 4, which is questionable at best, but it does mean he has priority moving into turn 5. Now, if he does want to wave, it can't get blocks. Not that we've seen it being able to get blocks, apart from maybe Juggernaut. And even then, he doesn't really block it, he just...
Yeah, it would be...
We've got a
lucky
hood
or unnatural.
and a deathlock coming down.
So possibly at this point, looking like students just giving up on the Mirror Island. Doesn't care for it too much, knows that it can throw stats into other locations. It is a game that you only have to win with 2 locations, not 3. And Maverick coming in with the snap.
Oh, Maverick trying to shut this game down.
Thinks he's got it, and we'd say it's...
Oh, it's the maximum BM. He snaps him back.
It's a snap
He'd
back.
say, right, this game's done. Whatever this turn is this turn. Smart player from Student, really, if he believes in himself that much. So Student will go down to 1 health here if he loses, and Maverick will lose the game. Now, he sweats the shulk, revealing that he got it from the Boogle.
So now Student knows that Maverick knows about the She-Hulk.
Aye.
Given that he spent 4 energy last turn, it's not all too relevant in terms of the amount of cards that he can play, but he also knows now that he's got a demon in hand.
It's going to be tricky. It's going to be big time tricky. Oh my god! Oh my god!
And the Shang-Chi!
Jesus.
And that sends Maverick into the Shadow Realm.
Damn.
GG. Student just knowing that he's got it.
Now, if I was Maverick, that is the same play I probably would have made. Maybe even pulling him into Mirror Island, but I'm not sure, Chief. I would have thought that was She-Hulk and Demon coming down from the hood.
I would have. You would have bet money on it. Is seen it in the hand, but very, very clever of Student there.
Yeah,
to have,
absolutely congrats. Excellent play there from both players.
he's seen, revealed the turn before that he did actually get the She-Hulk from the Bugle, so he knows that his opponent's expecting the She-Hulk. That's crazy smart, dude.
One time for both players there.
Hey, massive congratulations there to Student, and
Appreciate y'all.
again,
was
well
mad.
played, Maverick.
All right.
Next one. And we are good to go. So, we're already into the second turn, and currently on the field we've got a Mind Stone in Murder World, obviously must have been played out into the blind. Quinjet over on the right for Everzord. And these blind plays come in obviously because Crimson Cosmos on the left.
This could quite easily be a mirror match. I'm not sure if Quinjet's played in too much else apart from maybe Dino.
But you wouldn't really tend to see too much traditional Dino going on in today's meta.
And it confirms it.
That
We have
is-
got the meta mirror match. What is going on here?
See, Will's looking like at the moment they're having to pace out a lot of stones and don't mind getting rid of them in Murder World.
These are 2 terrible locations.
Oh.
We've got Plunder Castle to the right, Cosmos to the left. Shake my head. That's rough. That is rough all round.
Not even a head shake, but a head scratch from me. Definitely, Everzord's taken the much, much better gamble on the locations there, getting his things out into the right to fill up some stats on Plunder Castle.
And Wills, you are all good, buddy. We're just making sure that we don't reveal the screen too quick, as we have had some shenanigans at the beginning of the stream. Snap coming down here. Now, Plunder Castle isn't impossible for either player to get into. Oh!
Hold me, Debo, I'm shook. An armour coming down onto the Murder World to keep those stones in there, and that is limiting Will's potential play space so much.
That's devastating. And shy of a Killmonger to get rid of that Quinjet, we're going to have a real one-sided game here in Everzord's favour. That is pretty brutal. Everzord's going to be able to play the stones quite easily into Crimson Cosmos, as they will cost 0 now.
Yeah, so just for anyone who doesn't know that interaction, when the stones go down to a 0 cost because of the Quinjet, it doesn't count them as being within that 1 to 3 range that it doesn't allow. Polaris coming into the middle looking like it's just for stats and pace, because Everzord must have known there that there's nothing that could have potentially been played to get dragged and had priority.
Sweats a shulk down mid. And here comes the leech. Is this going to be a leech to leach? No,
It's a She-Hulk to She-Hulk mirror, but one of them being hit by the Soul Stone, still taking that the power advantage on that mid lane though, and there's not much it looks like Will may be able to do about that.
Pretty critical.
So going into the final turn here, Everzord with power on the Plunder's Castle. Can you imagine?
Just going to say Polaris is an interesting choice. Let's see how it plays out.
Now, I do wonder if Polaris is teched in because of the mirrors. As we know, Thanos players love to be able to have enough space open on their lockjaw lanes for all sorts of shenanigans going on there. Polaris can make things a little bit clog, has good synergies with things like the space throw.
Definitely interested, and here comes the retreat. Yep, there's the retreat coming through. Right, 2 cubes, not the end of the world, not the end of the world. That armour was devastating though. Absolutely devastating from Everzord. If I was Everzord, I'd have snapped it as well.
Yeah.
Props to Wills though. I didn't see it coming. This is going to be a messy game from both players with Subterranea revealed on the left. Very much one of the most hated locations in the game.
And we have still not yet seen a lockjaw from either player. Now that is the turn 1 snap from Evs.
What's he got?
But it would appear Will's completely willing to come and see this one, and it's just asking him, you know, have you got everything you need?
The cloggiest of clogs, Subterranea to Central Park for 2 Thanos players. We're going to be struggling in this game. Now, I can only imagine that Evs has got what he needs in hand, which is why he snapped.
Yeah. You would definitely endeavour to think so.
Now, with Quinjet and Sunspot being revealed, it would lean towards neither player running Killmonger in the main. We're going to have Reality Stone shown. He's going to show Hala.
Hala on the right lane, not a lot of power in there already.
Interesting that Hala is considered a downside, destroying the other player's cards, but it might be beneficial in this scenario.
Yeah, absolutely. With the amount of clog that's going on the field, you probably assume that neither player wants to play in there and save cards. Unless it's looking like a situation where one of them wants to mega brain the other one and
we'll have to see how this one pans out, Chief.
Try and get something.
Snap coming in back.
The snap back from Wills, and now the heat is on.
What's Ev's got for him? Oh my god, here comes the Polaris with the big clogs.
And Everzord actually does want to kill that Reality Stone.
Interesting, interesting.
So 2 squirrels there on the right.
Echoing what you said in the first game though, Polaris do be clogging him in the mirror.
And Everzord has taken a huge risk there, and it has not paid off, clogging that lane up with rocks, and the assumption that Wills would try to blow them up, and that's why he snapped, didn't work out for him, and that is huge.
And if he didn't have any answers in hand, he definitely doesn't now. Soulstone going to be so critical, so brutal. Soulstone actually getting the draw off before the leech resolved as well.
That is a lot.
Alright, let's see what would you be expecting here. There's no way that he could get all 6 stones down from Evs, so it's definitely not going to be Thanos. Kazar is a popular card in Thanos lists. It's not one that we lean towards, but it's not unknown.
But you do see Blue Marvels as well.
Ooh, here comes the big pass. Constant fear that Infinite's always near with the pass on 5.
But you know what is near right now? It's the reality that we could be seeing another 8-cube beamer in a tournament setting, and this 8 cubes would send Wills keep Everzord alive by 2. But Will's already taken that 2 in the first round.
It's the all or nothing plays.
It's big.
Now, is there any sort of stat boosting cards here that can guarantee the wins for Evs? I don't think so. None that spring to mind. We'll see how many dice Evs wants to roll. Not
They
that
take
many.
the retreat.
Not that many.
Oh,
Let's go.
that's huge.
Yo, Brett Zeppelin and Zeka, thank you very much for the follows. We will be shouting people out in between rounds, but we won't be doing it throughout the games. Point to Wills. That game was decided on that 4th round.
And another 4-cube swing, turning it from Wills with a 2-cube disadvantage to now a 2-cube advantage.
Now, Crimson Cosmos again.
On the left lane.
Again.
Turn 1 and a Quinjet
Again.
from Everzord again on the right.
Oh my god.
This time it's a very different set of lineup though, because we've now got Starlight Citadel in the mix.
That is rough. Right, Soulstone coming down from Evs. Sunspot on the right. What is the right location? And it is... Space Throne! Oh!
Now, we are fairly certain, yeah, understandable snap right there with Space Throne coming down, but we know that neither player runs Killmonger.
We've
Or
not
at
seen
least we haven't seen it so far.
We've not seen Cosmo from either player either.
And just as mentioned, the Cosmo in the mix.
It's disgusting.
So, end of this turn, Starlight Citadel will spin the locations. We're going to see Crimson Cosmos looking like Everzord is not afraid of that of the Space Throne going into the left.
He can't be happy about it, but he's willing to play it out. Here we go. Big spinner.
And it really favours Wills. Everzord had to play that with no fear, and it is backfired.
Damn. Let's go, Wills.
Saying that, he can move the Space Stone. It is, after all, the Stone of Space. Which is, must be why Everzord has played that there, knowing that he'll be able to
Just in
use its
case.
on reveal effect.
Still not ideal.
It was looking like we've got a little bit of a freeze. We'll just wait for that to catch up.
Alright, we're cool.
We are back. And to see how this one pans out.
Now, if you're Wills, you've got to be aware of that Space Stone. In the mirror match.
And
The
Everzord
space,
just let it sit.
it just concedes the left. That is wild.
Arrow into the right hand lane. And a leech again. Another turn 5 leech from Wills. Slaps the hand up, so. I mean, no real benefit coming from the cards that Ev's. Well, the arrow that he just played, but.
Now, I'm not sure how I feel about Leech turn 5 in the mirror. Oh, Leech is always going to be impactful, but you do sacrifice a lot of tempo. In this scenario, Wills is still up, so I can see why he'd do it. We'll have to see how this one plays out.
But yeah, the Cosmo in the middle lane, meaning that any effects that would be getting played into there wouldn't be active anyway. And Everzord just takes the L.
Backs it up. I am shocked that he did not move that Space Stone.
I thoroughly shocked.
Well, moving into round 4. Mirror Island. I do enjoy a bit of Muir Island. It's not the best, not the worst, but it's definitely better than Subterranean or Crimson Cosmos, I'll tell you that much for free.
It is when you're playing the Thanos deck.
Now, can Evs get Quinjet once again? He has decided to draw it again.
And we've seen it all before. This is what we call in the industry a pro gamer move.
Just draw it.
Quinjet. Every time.
Just draw. Oh!
Now coming in from Wills. That was a blue snap, right?
I do believe so. Now, if you're Wills and you've got him on the back foot, I'd be snapping.
Oh, yeah. At this point, the extra 4 cubes that he's got in the life bank. Knowing that, as well, Everzord has retreated a couple of times and for quite some cube damage. Turning it into a 2-cube game already.
I don't blame him for staying in, though, with Yellowstone and Sunspot under Quinjet. Things are looking okay for Evs right now compared to Will's lonely Space Stone on that Muir Island. We've got Grand Central on the right. It's a spooky one. Both decks running massive, massive curves. Grand Central could really swing the game here.
Yeah, some Grand Central could either be a completely game-changing effect or just a huge amount of stat line for one of the players.
Polaris coming in again. Power Stone coming down. So Evs is going to start running away with that left lane. He does threaten it. A little bit of clog coming in on the Eternity range. Again, not so impactful of a location. It's one that I like to see.
Got to say, I'm slightly surprised to see Everzord just allow that that space to be taken up.
A carnage from Evs.
And
so
this explains why. So he does run some of the Destroy tech just to make sure that he can...
The anti-clog technology.
Can pop out if he needs to.
Wills reveals the Shang, spinning into Time Stone.
But both players now well aware that whatever they play this turn, after they've dropped something out of the hand, the rest of the hand is open to Grand Central, provided that neither of them play the Reality Stone.
Now Wills will have 6 mana here because of the Time Stone. Heavy curves in deck. No Quinjet though, so it could be a 5 and a 1. We'll have to see how it plays out.
So at this stage of the game, both players probably threatening some high power output, but Will's looking so far behind on board right now.
Yeah.
And that's another turn of a lot of cards coming down from Everzord. Quinjet making that possible.
Doesn't want to chance it with the Grand Central. Decides to play the Reality Stone. Soul Stone coming down into the Lockjaw lane. Into a Leech. Too little, too late, perhaps. Dino is going to take the lane on the right.
Just about.
Kinda, sorta. Power Stone is already down though, so even if the stones did get negated from Evs' side, he could just whap them out. And he will get the Thanos boost.
That would require Everzord to have them in hand. There's no way of getting them out onto field now. Unless he's already got them there ready to go. There's no Lockjaw rolling possible, and would imagine he's probably not playing Lockjaw if he's got the Carnage side of the strategy.
With Shang revealed as well, spinning away, Evs has played this really, really well. Everything on turn 6 on the left, under 9 power. Threatening 23 power, which is just over the Thanos range. Knowing that he's going to be going to 27 as well. Presuming that that's 0 soak and it's fully money efficient from Evers. It's a tough match.
And here we have retreat from Will's side.
Retreat
this time.
is coming in.
And that is making it just that little bit closer.
Yo, Key Control, Sevo90, thank you so much for the follows, yo.
Welcome to the stream. Hope you're enjoying the tournament content.
Yeah, Mexa, this is the first Thanos mirror we've had, round 2. Moving into round 5 now. High stakes on the table. Is Evs going to open Quinjet?
Making it 5 for 5.
5 for 5.
If Everzord opens Quinjet again, I'd feel like that's their luck for the whole tournament out, right? Because How could you do that so consistently?
Just open it every game.
Please, Everzord, write a guide on how I can draw the Quinjet so consistently. No, but he does have the other good one drop, which is the Sunspot, making it a little bit more of a switcheroo from the previous games.
Now, stop me if I'm wrong. I don't believe we've seen a Lockjaw from Evers.
No, and I would imagine that's because he is running the Destroy cards as well.
It's definitely an interesting path to take.
But working with a fairly solid amount of success. It might be behind on cubes, but there's not been a game that's not been close so far.
It's true. It's true. Snap coming down now from Wills. Power Stone was played last turn, as well as Time Stone from Ev's side. Soul Stone from Will's side. However, Evs does threaten the Carnage in the left lane.
So we've got extra energy on the board for Everzord. At the moment, playing turn 3 with 4.
He's not feeling it.
And just retreating out of the game before the snap comes into effect.
Yeah, he's not feeling it. He don't want to risk his tournament life on that one game there.
However, moving into what is now potentially the final game,
it's
if
definitely
Everzord doesn't manage to pull it out.
With it being high stakes, it's definitely the last game, no matter what.
Think so.
It's for 2 immediately, and he's got 2 live.
Well, it's the last game for Everzord, but that's only assuming that Everzord doesn't win this one.
Of course.
Could take it down to the wire, and I'm kind of hoping to see it.
Let's see
You don't see the Destroy package Thanos lines as much in the current meta, and I'd be interested to just at least get one more round of it.
We definitely don't see it very much here in EU. So, Space Throne on the left, Vormir in the mid. Yellowstone is going to be coming down. A Daredevil. Now, I don't think we've quite seen that yet. Oh,
and
my God.
On the right, there's just got, ladies and gentlemen, interesting.
Quinjet from Wills as well, letting him know how it feels.
And this is for 2, hugely in Will's favour. Already passed into Vormir.
Evs has got to play a fair game here. It's not looking very good for Evs. We're going to have to see a Reality Stone come down immediately from Evs.
No, we haven't seen Everzord play Wave yet either, which...
Sunspot coming down. Time Stone for an extra power. Polari's coming down. What's he going to drag? He's going to drag the Soul Stone.
He's thrown even with the... That's probably the best thing that it could have taken right there. But still up in 2 lanes Wills right now. And what does Everzord have for this?
I'm not sure.
Extra really energy for both players.
So we're coming down to the wire.
Turn 4, is it going to be stats or tech? And who's got the better of the 2?
It's a tough one.
Will's playing with 5 energy on the turn 4 of TVA.
Can we see a Reality Stone coming down from Evers?
She-Hulk in the right-hand lane. He changes it up.
That's the
building going in.
Oh.
But importantly, that actually ties up the Space Throne at the moment because Wills is winning it.
13's a lot to chase. Very well played from Evers.
Yeah, held that card close to the chest. Has made Wills commit.
Not seen too many stat boosting cards across the board like Blue Marvel from Evers quite yet. Now, Evers does get to see that the arrow has been revealed. So if he did have a plan to ram that Baxter, he can't do it quite yet. We did see a big pass from Evers a couple of games ago, though.
And both players having sunspots out right now, we know that Everzord's current mindset must be on winning that Baxter building. It is crucial right now.
It is.
So arrow in the middle, almost half of the thinking time gone.
Not too much Evers can do about it. And we know he does run Cosmo, but Cosmo's not going to do him any favours here. Mid lane going up to 17, threatening even more with soaks. It's rough. It's rough. However, if we have seen Carnage, he chooses to play in the Baxter anyway to get it pulled, and it is Time Stone.
So he's going to go for some soaking on Sunspot, now just 3 power underneath on the lane. And you're wondering who's got the most power to output onto that lane right now. Will's without any shadow of a doubt winning that mid lane.
All cards under 9. Looking pretty strong. I was just going to say before that got revealed there, with a Carnage package, I would expect to see some sort of Killmonger as well. It can't be out of the question.
It can't be out of the question, but
We've not seen it.
I mean, I don't see it as necessarily as likely. I would assume from what we've seen from Everzord so far that it's more about having the technology to do it on one lane on the off chance, rather than so much as, you know, needing to pump it so hard.
Reality Stone coming down into Vormir for the Commentators. Blue Marvel getting revealed.
And it's the Shang that we see from Everzord for the first time swinging that game.
He played his tech close to his chest.
And back in it now is
Oh my god.
2 cube difference going into round 7.
Everzord showing signs of life.
Clinging on, and the turn 1 Project Pegasus.
Oh, it's about to go down.
It has got to go down, Demo. Jeez.
Sunspot getting revealed, and Quinjet from Big Soak. Immediate.
Very light, but very, very good soak.
Alright, chooses to spin the Quinjet for time. Reality coming down. Commentators.
Oh, and who's that going to benefit more now that Wills only has 1 slot available in the location?
Would have to see Space Stone. It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one, cover.
But Wills, with the ability to roll, thinking may possibly be slightly more in their favour.
Sweats the Shulk.
The She-Hulk on the left, big power now there. Sunspot facing off against Sunspot, and both players with a Quinjet on board.
It's getting live-o in here, man. This board state's pretty crazy for 3.
And we've seen already that Wills doesn't mind so much the Murder World. Everzord not having to use it.
Oh!
And the Sunspot
And he
into
denies the Polaris showing being extra clutch in this mirror, man. I'm very impressed.
Yeah, and this is what we were talking about. It's the tech that's custom designed to take on the mirror.
It's live-o, man. Polaris is no joke either, being a 3-5 stat line amongst some of the biggest 3s in the game.
Mm-hmm. So, very winnable for both players, you'd say. Quite fairly secure on a lane each, even with that Polaris moving the Sunspot over. What that's done is make it more difficult for Wills to contest the left, rather than make it easier for Everzord to contest the right.
There is a problem with revealing something over 9 this early on when you know your opponent plays Shang.
Yep, and both players playing it means that both players, Chuckle, are in danger.
Opponent has Shang. Oh, he's choosing to clog the left. Unless this is a blue stone. Ninja's coming down. Cosmo coming down. Oh,
just a little too late to stop that Space Stone from coming into effect from Wills.
However, it does mean he can no longer be Shanged on the left.
It means that nobody can get Shang-Chi'd on the left. So
Looking a lot cloggier for Wills than it is for Evers right now.
it is, but saying that is also looking like the stat line's still in Will's favour, much closer on the Project Pegasus lane that Everzord is winning than the Commentators. We know that both players still have the ability to boost with the sunspots, but being energy efficient, you'd wonder if that's really on the minds right now.
We'll have to see.
So the ability to move still on the table for Wills.
The big pass.
Choosing not to do it now.
The big pass.
That is a huge soak for the sunspot right there.
13 is pretty tricky to get over with Dino already being revealed.
But now, what could he be hoping for? If he had the Shang-Chi in his hand, choosing to save it for now, out of the question. That leech could, right there, be the absolute defining card of this particular round and, in turn, the entire series.
We'll have to see.
Is there a way that Everzord has top-decked out of it? Is there a way that he's got more stats available for a lane? It's going to be extremely tricky. Okay, Thanos coming down on Will's side in the middle. Thanos to Thanos mirror.
Oh!
That was so close.
Damn!
So close, just manages to get that power in there, but it's not enough.
Oh my god. GG's, both players, Wills and Everzord. We've got another game here. This is between Chimera and Itchy Router. And we've got Mag coming in. I'm not sure, just doing a bird's eye diagnostic here. It does look like the final round. Oh, it's a Mag to Mag combination for 4 cubes as well. Just trying to get the diagnostic on that. A Lockjaw style deck, which doesn't appear to be Thanos, and a Sandman deck from Itchy Router. Now, it would look like it's in Itchy Router's favour just from a bird's eye view there. Going into round 2.
Ooh. Who have we got up on stream? Kimura.
And Itchy Router. Now, we know that Itchy Router... We only got a bird's eye view of turn 6, and it was a mag-to-mag combination, but what we did see is that Itchy Router had Sandman on board, which is a point of contention at the moment. Is it good?
Ooh.
Is it not?
And is it going to be devastating in tournament format?
That's the one. And we did see some lockjaw shenanigans from Chimera, so it's definitely in Itchy Router's favour. However, Chimera did actually manage to pull out the 4 cubes. Scorpion game!
It's a scorpion! Love to see it.
I don't know about that one, Chief. Nightcrawler could be down on the left. I am a big fan of Nightcrawler at the moment. He's always doing bits.
Hey, thank you for the resub, Nike. Really appreciate you.
Be bigging that up after the game, my dude. Don't you worry about that. Yo, what's going on, Nike?
Oh,
Electro into
managing to play it into the murder.
What's expansion going to be giving? Black Panther.
And Angela, this is looking real one-sided at the moment. Obviously, we've got more turns to go, but wow.
Wow, the way that this is going for Chimera right now, you'd think it was me or Como playing. Absolutely disgusting scenes getting revealed. And Itchy Router, forever the gentleman, decided not to snap, but it's understandable considering that he has just lost 4 life, willing to take a steady win.
Yeah, possibly thinking of letting Kimmy hold on hope for
Ooh, and we've seen how this works before. It is
Lockjaw coming down afterwards, and that lane is now clogged. The hammer not enough to buff up the 4. Angela getting no procs off that.
Chimera drawing well, but everything going wrong. Itchy Router only playing a couple cards here, but everything going right.
And still no snap. I think Itchy must know at this point a snap means a leave. Now, saying that, we can't see the hand.
We cannot.
So, it could be that the rest of it's bricked. It could be.
I mean, if I was Itchy, I'd have snapped it, bro. I'd just take the 1 cube and move on to the next game and hit it all again.
Yeah. There's a question of saving that mental and maybe trying to find out more cards that the opponent's playing. So I've got
Oh my god.
Odin on the Doombots, sending quite a bit of power. Can anything top deck out of this? A Sunspot's not going to be enough.
Jesus.
So, very smart of Itchy not to snap. Actually comes out with the 2 cubes from that. Surprised to see Kimmy stay in it.
I was surprised. Yeah, I'd have backed that up personally.
There's
but
no way I would have played that all the way to the end, but GG.
However, 4 cubes up. Maybe you play it out for 2. So, maybe they got mega grinded.
But yeah, that deficit being cut in half.
Signs of life from both players. Interesting to point out that the game that Itchy won was the one where he didn't have Sandman out.
Yeah.
There it is. New York, Captain Cloggers. Oh, Central Park, sorry. Central Park do be in New York.
Within New York.
Oh, the Gamelab.
Ooh. And correct me if I'm wrong, but we've not seen a Shang-Chi from either player yet.
I don't think we have. Oh my god, Itchy.
The synergy Electro doing bits right now.
Oh my.
And that's a lot of power.
It is. That's disgusting.
Disgusting.
And the 5-player beat a Sandman. Oh my.
Sandman on turn 4.
Now we do know he has Doom in his deck and Odin, which is a classic line.
And now, with the energy to do so, does he have the cards to do so?
We'll be able to hit up that redeem after the match, your team.
Now, all things considered, Kimura isn't in the worst spot right now. Given that they've got the Sunspot out, I take it back, and Kimura seems to be in an awful spot now.
Would you play this out?
If I was Kimura, I don't see a way out of here.
Sandman's too brutal, man, against the Lockjaw deck.
As a player, you've really got to be considering, do they have 5 for one lane? Probably.
The chance of him having Doom is so high. Also, we've pointed out that I love that he played Electro, got rid of it, and still, we're just playing 1 card a turn anyway.
Yeah, much smarter from Kimura that time. Takes the 1 cube loss instead of the 2. Doesn't want to quite even up the score yet. Still clinging on to a 1 cube advantage.
This is a problem that we struggle with. I know a lot of you guys struggle with at home anyway. You just want it to... Oh my! Hold the phone. Oscorp Tower. The one-sided Sandman may be inbound.
All of the lane synergies just coming through for Itchy in these last 3 games.
I was just about to say before we seen that we do be huffing copium, thinking, no, this is fine. Everything on the game is on fire, but this is fine. Electro turned it into Hulk, and then Sandman following it up, maybe my Lockjaw still get me there, but
Magneto completely killing a lane. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Here we go. Will he do it? Oh no! The Sanctum. And we know that Itchy's got the wide device.
So Kimura with 1 wide device on field now in the Nightcrawler. Got to be hoping that the opponent doesn't pull that same Doctor Doom they've been using.
Hoping and coping. Ooh. Hoping and coping.
So, Isle of Silence in the mid. Benefiting Itchy, but choosing not to send it through the Oscorp Tower? That's wild.
I'd 100% have been sending that, brother.
Not sure how I feel about that one, Chief.
It's not a bad play, though. He is up 2 power.
Yep.
But I can't help but feel that that's a mistake.
Yeah, especially he's seen the Lockjaw already being played knows that Kimura wants to play at least 2 cards a turn, as he does right there.
And there's the Sandman. That reveal that
Does
shows.
have it.
So that makes more sense. He's now up 2 power, and both players are already playing 1 card anyway. Leaning towards it. That may have been his best line in hand, which is why he chose not to do it.
So Kimura not wanting to get clogged again. And a fairly sizable amount of power now on the Omega Red lane. If he can keep hold of that lead, it's looking like the Sanctum is possible to win. However,
this is rough.
However, we've already seen Itchy play the Odin onto a Doctor Doom, get multiple bots. He's thinking, does he have it? How much is he willing to soak on the Sunspot? Would it get him there anyway?
Ichi playing this like a true gen. You can see he's got the foil on that Sandman. This isn't his first rodeo.
And I am choosing to believe that Itchy has been doing this from the moment that Sandman was buffed.
Oh my god.
Kimura wants to play it out, chooses to soak on the Sunspot, and it's just not going to be enough. He's seen that combo already, he chose to believe that he didn't have it, backfired. Itchy now for the first time taking the lead.
It is. Let's get it.
Okay. First location reveal Hala.
Second location, Commentators.
Ooh, finally!
This
a
is
set
what-
of locations that might benefit Kimura.
It works for Itchy as well, though.
It does, and
Oh, the Scorpion Gamer!
oh, the big hit.
And Captain Cloggers for the Lockjaw deck.
It's
Oh
rough.
my god.
It's rough. A snap coming through from Itchy, I do believe that. I didn't quite catch the colour. There was a very, very late snap into the turn as well.
Double Mjolnir. If this is Sandman, this is Curtains.
But now, with that life advantage willing to snap,
Makes sense.
and Kimura now, I mean, after that double Scorpion, gotta be thinking, is this turn even worth it? Apparently so.
He's got it.
Sandman.
Oh, Lockjaw. Crawler. Crawler into Big Daddy Mag.
And that lane getting a little bit clogged up. Looking like nothing going to die on Hala.
The Mjolnir. No, Doom can only tie Central Park. Good to know.
And that clog could be crucial.
It really could.
Huge life advantage. Power advantage. Pardon me, Demo.
No problem, kind sir. Now with Electro on board, do you put Doom in Commentators now?
That'd be a lot to commit. A huge amount of commitment to the board. We're going to have to see it. Right, so the Mighty Four wants to pull all the zero costs. Magneto switching up that clog somewhat. I'm wondering if that's going to help Itchy's cause.
That is questionable.
That is questionable fully. I mean, it doesn't affect the fact that Doom can only tie that lane. Doom could win the left.
Who's going to win it harder?
It would come down to a breaker, that being the case.
This has got to be a breaker. You can only imagine that that's Doom in the mid. Oh my god, the soak on the Sunspot's so real.
Sunspot with a huge amount of soak and
That is dub. Oh! Let's go. Kimura showing signs of life in the worst matchup that you could possibly imagine.
But Itchy, you gotta say, you can't.
Oh, Kimura with
With
the BM
manners.
and the BM.
The madman and emote right there. But, I mean, that Magneto play from Itchy, he's got to be kicking himself for that.
Plus,
That was crucial, and it should just. Yeah,
it goes back to what I was.
There.
Goes back to what I was saying the round before. You've got to bang it now.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying, do you bang the Doom right now? Now, advantage to Chimera on the board right now. Interesting.
Very, very interesting, and a space throne.
Oh my. This looks like the end of Itchy, to be fair.
Yep.
He must have top decked that Electro. Surely.
Absolutely. 100% must have.
Unless he had a brain melt there.
That raw Ebony Maw is. It's a tight one. There's no onus on Chimera to have to play in there, and Itchy must know that.
I can only imagine that he's going to try bully him into Space Throne. Somehow knock him off the bridge with the crawler.
Yeah, I mean, Magneto into the Space Throne could very well be a winner for Itchy in that line if he's got it, but only one way to find out. Aero.
Oh!
Aero and pulls the unrevealed Lockjaw.
Itchy showing signs of life.
We just got a real game.
Itchy showing signs of life, guys. Every time I think Itchy's done for, he pulls it out of the bag somehow. Every time I think Itchy's going to win, he's sometimes...
It's a nutty one for sure. And with a Wasp just chilling there, that's super cloggy for Chimera as well.
Now, what is the play here if you're Itchy? Doom is off the table.
Mm-hmm. Doom's off the table for now, unless it's just a 5-power stat line in there.
He's going to knock his Maw off the bridge. We can only imagine that Crawler's definitely knocking that Maw off the bridge.
Yeah.
Big.
We'll be looking at breakers, and Chimera's just passed into that next turn. Now, hoping for a breaker situation.
How much? It's got to be Mag. I'm not running the maths, I'm not entirely sure. It is Mag.
Pulls the Lockjaw.
19. Oh! Itchy! With the filth! Oh my god!
Wherever you want to play, it's getting spun away. That was
Oh my god!
that was incredible. Chimera knows
Still
just got beat good and fair
That
right
one.
there.
Jesus.
Ooh.
This is what we came to see.
Yeah.
This is Marvel's. This is Marvel Snap, man.
Wow. Okay. Fist Tower in the mid, Nightcrawler on the left. Can't be killed in one location. Will be killed if it moves.
The duality of life.
And we have seen some movement from these players.
Ebony Maw coming down into mid.
Ooh, not overly convinced on that one.
Both players did draw a card from Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah, we've seen them be able to take some advantage from their one drop so far in the set. And Itchy, at the moment, playing a fair game in terms of the amount of energy on board. Still a 3 energy turn for both players.
It is. And just like that.
Just as we're talking about it, in comes Energy Boy himself.
Oh, the brain from Itchy!
I am shook, Demo. Itchy has got multiple... Itchy's not shown any real intent of playing multiple cards.
No, it's not made an impact. Yeah.
But I could still see a Sandman if he's got it.
It's got to feel good, right?
I could still see a Sandman if he's got
Got
it.
to feel good.
Okay,
Thor coming down and Wakanda.
the Might of Asgard and Is this another Sandman play on turn 4? It is.
Naturally.
Got it. Draws it on curve every single time. But serious amounts of power to contest here.
There is.
So the turn 5 play, 1 card from each player. Are we seeing Doombots?
Not sure if Doombots is going to get him there on this one, Chief.
Ooh, arrows left. Still not enough power, and I'm really starting to think that with the amount of power remaining on board right now, there's not an awful lot Itchy can do. So no go wide device in terms of cards.
Yeah, Omega Keck coming in, coming out.
Doctor Doom, both players, and it's just too much for Itchy to deal with there.
Congratulations, both players.
That was one of the most exciting sets I've had the pleasure of sitting through. That had me going, wow.
I just don't believe in that turn 1 more play, knowing that you can put some Doombots on it, saying to the opponent, I am not going to be putting more than 20 power on this lane.
Yeah.
Chimera knew that, built his lockjaw there, got over 20 power, called it a day. Wow. Yep. Here we go.
Here it goes.
Yeah, we're in Pepsi Cola's game now. And he's against sunglasses
face. I never tried, obviously, but I'm surprised we can have emojis on the names in this game. It's pretty funny.
Project Pegasus for the rip. I almost didn't catch that. Blue Marvel and Quinjet coming down. White Queen and Scorpion coming down from Peps. Subterranea. Now, I've not seen a deck with Blue Marvel and Quinjet that isn't Thanos.
Not recently.
And there is a Space Stone and a Mini Lab.
Oh, it's looking like everything right now is just coming up Pep's Cola.
I've not seen a deck with White Queen that isn't Dino in a hot minute.
Well, aside from all the shenanigans that were going on with Zabu when he was in peak popularity, at least, we did see a lot of White Queens then.
I did say a hot minute.
It's been a minute since Zabu was the card of the day. So Time Stone is going to allow sunglasses to take some extra energy on turn 5.
You know, I'm just going to call them Doc, because the sunglasses and then they've got the Doc Ock emoji.
Yeah.
Alright, so we got Mr. Fantastic. Cat just choosing violence.
She's alright. Okay, so it goes into effect, and that's the leech on the board, and now it's very understandable as to why.
Turn 4 leech. It's a little bit shaky on this capture, guys. You just have to bear with us while we go through that. There's nothing that we can do about it on this end. Now, turn 4 leech. I'm trying to think of a deck where it doesn't suck. I don't think it exists.
No.
The only saving grace is that you do get 3 draws. Hold tight, Doc, for being orange border gang as well.
Yeah. Card's looking real fly.
And it does look like Pepsi's purple border gang.
Aye. So, Wave coming down, which must have been the top deck from Pep's Cola, and a Valkyrie from Doc's side.
Ooh.
Not going to make the absolute world of difference, but it's something.
Nid coming down as well. Right, prior to Doc. Turn 6. He's not feeling it.
And that is completely understandable.
Not feeling it.
But yeah, tilted now that the Doc player confirmed to be playing Leech and willing to snap on it. So the ever-present Mind Games demo, you know, will it be a tell? Will it be a bluff if they are going to snap in the future?
Snapping turn 1 and the Commentators is brutal.
And Pep's there we saw considering the retreat at least.
Considering
Already
it.
2 cubes down.
Can only imagine that this is some sort of stone coming down.
And that is all
Yellow
the stones
stone.
in hand.
I'm not sure. Yeah. No, they'd be missing one because of hand size, but
Yeah.
they may have already had it.
Chances aren't too unlikely.
Double time coming down and soulstone.
So there's a lot of energy to be spent from Doc right now. And a Triskelion filling up both players' hands.
This could quite easily be a leech on turn 3. With the Triskelion, if he's got it, you'd bang it.
Yeah. The only stipulation to that might be if they're looking at the fight for Asgard as being vitally important, but with the Triskelion, say it's just not as much of a big factor right now.
That's a lot of stuff. We do be out here doing stuff. Oh,
Reality
another...
for another Pegasus.
Jesus.
Power,
Space.
and space, and that is all of the stones on field for Doc right now.
Oh my. A sunspot is dangerously big right now.
You might say dangerously shangable though. Yet to see it.
We do know that Doc runs Valk, so that mid lane being open does threaten Valk. A Khazar coming down. We did mention this a couple of games. Oh my god.
That's got to be backbreaking. So the
Saying
Doombot's
that-
actually getting to go off on this turn, and that could be nothing short of enormous.
It's a lot.
Going into turn 5, and both sides of the field are very, very full.
They are.
Doesn't seem like there's much more power that Doc can get onto the right. Shy of a Blue Marvel.
Choose to preemptively Valk.
Yeah, and wants to do it over the Sunspot, seeing that as the bigger threat.
Understandable.
But down in 2 lanes, so Peps does have the advantage when it comes to taking this turn.
Now, there are a lot of big cards in this Thanos list. And with the recent buff, we know the big one is Thanos himself.
Yeah.
So Thanos coming down could threaten that middle lane. Blue Marvel threatens a tie on the right. There's a lot that can go on here. Only 2 slots though, no Quinjet out. I struggle to say an honest game. The Thanos player just be doing stuff, man. But
An honest game with all 6 stones being played.
as honest gets. There's the Spectrum.
line. And it's on the Commentators, so it takes the right lane to a plus.
Not seeing the Commentators Spectrum line.
Well, that's the first time we've seen Spectrum from Doc, and
It's true.
that was
It's true.
brutal.
So this does look like Ordinary Harry's list
Yes.
from the Creator Clash tournament.
Or at least very, very similar.
Similar technology going on. And that is... Oh...
Yeah, looking like Peps at the moment, running some bits of tech that work against the Thanos list, but up until now we've not seen much to counter the specifically the ongoing line of it.
Chasing down this Gamma Lab against the Thanos deck is also...
Dare I say brutal.
You can't not do it though, right? So we've got Dark Dimension and Eternity Range. Dark Dimension being slightly hype, mildly annoying, depending on how you look at it.
And we can see that M'Baku is a card that Doc plays as well. Not seen it so far.
2 Hulks for Doc, 1 Hulk for Peps.
So it's interesting that Peps could see the line for that Polaris and chose not to risk trying to pull the Quinjet.
For a big cloggers.
Yeah. However, that being said, they didn't have the priority on that turn, which could be a decider on why that particular line was chosen.
Somewhat honest gameplay going on right now. Right, no leech. So Peps is actually going to be able to play his turn 6 to his potential. We'll see how this one plays out.
So only 2 behind on the Gamma Lab. The Dark Dimension is a mystery to everyone.
So
And Pep's looking more clogged on the right. Doc looking more clogged on the right.
ooh, we do know it's a Mr. Fantastic in mid. It's a Mr. Fantastic for Doc as well.
On both sides. And the Marvel that's going to take the swing.
Oh my.
Oh, and that's got to be the wind out of Pep's sails right there.
I honestly thought Peps had that. I thought he'd done him with a sneaky Fanta.
The incredibly clutch blue Marvel.
Jesus. Right, Superflow. Another fan favourite.
We love to see locations that let you play all your cards.
Oh,
And we've got an instant snap coming through from Doc. Very understandable at this point in the game.
still being full health.
We are just about to start next round, the instant 2 cubers.
Mindstone, Greenstone, turn 1.
And
Superflow.
a fun zone, so no punish for Doc at the moment.
4 energy from Doc now. With Superflow considered.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be able to start doing all the stuff next turn.
I'm just thinking if we see a Lockjaw, it could be an absolute steamroll of a game from Doc right here.
No, if you did have Reality Stone and Lockjaw, I'd want to do it on the left. No, Space Stone. Oh, that's fair
So
enough.
choosing to go into Space Stone just allows Doc to do more lockjawing.
Now, I don't know if this is a secret side effect from running Lockjaw and Spectrum. I don't think I can recall ever seeing an opponent early pulling Spectrum from Lockjaw.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen, right?
No, Spectrum in hand, Lockjaw on the field.
Yeah, that's how they do it. I mean, why not, right?
And it's a deck that doesn't fear too many answers, doesn't really fear Cosmo.
Oh my.
That's a lot of cards on the Lockjaw.
We are indeed going to start doing stuff.
Where's the reality? There it is.
Oh my.
Into the Khazar.
M'Baku going
back in deck.
Reality again?
Reality one more time, and we've got Necrosha. That's a bit of a twist.
It is.
Both players having Mr. Fantastic out, so not going to be a big swing on that. So we know that one huge thing for Doc's advantage is the potential of the Blue Marvel.
And the Spectrum threatens another 4 power there. Armour coming down from Doc. And Space Stone. Sunspot coming down with a boost from Wakandan Embassy, taking that lane to 10. Now, Space Stone can buff a card here by 2 if it wants to move into Kunlun. However, I'd imagine Doc's got 2 cards to play.
Does take the buff and chooses to do it with the Time Stone. there's the blue marvel that we were talking about, though, and having those sort of ongoing effects makes Necrotia much easier to deal with.
So we know that Peps did play White Queen, so he's got an idea of some of the bigger cards that could be looming in Doc's hand.
And there is the Spectrum, aforementioned. And I'm not sure if that's going to be enough. And Baku trying to get onto the field.
It looks
like and we get to see an interesting visual glitch right there. Baku creeping from the back, but so dominant.
Shout out to Peps.
There was no point in there where I thought that Peps played bad.
No, it's just that Doc's deck does lots of unfair stuff.
Okay, the stream has just come online for it.
Here we go.
Ready.
We've got Savage Land. We've got Dream Dimension.
Send this over real quick. I'm just going to quickly move these borders a little bit just to get them a bit better into focus for you guys.
Alright, so we've got Zabu coming down, Lockjaw coming down, and Agent Coulson coming down. Coulson and Zabu on Ezizo's side, and we've got another Savage Land. I'm not quite sure how this has happened. I can only imagine that was Mirror Dimension. We've got a Snap coming in from Ezzy's side. Here comes Crossbones and Zero. This is some spice. A Ninja coming down for Major Cloggers. Power Stone. What's the last Lockjaw spin? It's Mr. Fantastic revealed. Doesn't change the onboard board presence right now. However, we've got Blue Marvel. Now, he does lose mid. Mid is a thing that is lost right now. Now, if this is the similar Ordinary Harry list, similar to the Ordinary Harry list, I should say, that we can only threaten 2 extra power down mid, which still won't get them there.
That would be 4. There's 2 ongoing effects in there.
True.
So there is a possibility that this mid lane could be swung.
True. I can only imagine that the Crossbones was generated by Agent Coulson and appropriate at the time. Zero.
Yeah, it's got the same border.
Atuma.
Atuma with the effect negated.
Kazar boosting these Raptors and Soulstone.
Really making that middle lane look viable now.
Oh, this is looking pretty good for Ezzy right now. We'll see what the final play is.
But Mana Boy could very well be pulling this one out of the bag. Not sure exactly how much power output that Ezzy's got. Looking like Atuma's one of the bigger cards.
Could only imagine that this is some sort of Sherry list. The Claw!
The left lane is absolutely going to take...
Spider-Woman!
Oh, and that is definitely enough for the right lane, but the power on that left lane is just too much for Titania to get over.
It's a 4-cuber to begin.
And that Spider-Woman was huge, but they were just... Ezzy just doubting that Mana Boy could get enough power into there, and he did.
And this is what we were echoing about the Thanos deck. There's so many options. Here comes Weird World.
Oh,
hate to see it.
Spice.
You hate to see it.
So every single turn now, both players getting more and more of a download on what their opponent's capable of for the rest of the set, the rounds in this set.
Looks like a Snap coming in.
Snap from Ezzy. Mana Boy considering the retreat, and he's taking it.
I can only imagine that as he drew the Quinjet from the opponent.
And that would have been, that would have been absolutely shifted, tilting. Ooh, but Mana Boy there already up 4 cubes.
Doesn't mind
willing to take the 1 cube loss, just to make sure that Ezzy's not actually pacing themselves back into this.
It's true.
But yeah, more Thanos ongoing. His tournament topping so far, and Super solid.
Hellfire Club and Crimson Cosmos going to be serious kicking the nuts to the Thanos player here.
Absolutely. So if you
Another snap coming
and
down.
a red snap coming through, Ezzy knows how impactful that's going to be to Mana Boy. Now, shy of a Quinjet, what could they do to really get cards down?
I'm not sure. It's going to be a struggle for sure. You're always going on Dr. Kerr. It's starting now. You're always going on Mortic. Big ups, big ups, big ups. Maximus.
And sending the draws.
This is rough.
So looking like a Lockjaw lane set up on the right is just Mana Boy's way of saying I need to start getting into this game. I need to start doing things, pulling cards.
Now, does Ezzy have some technology for the Lockjaw lane? Vision, that's
pretty cool.
New York. Dino.
And those rolls are very...
The critical, brutal rolls. Completely in Mana Boy's favour here.
I doubt that he could have asked for better to come out of the Lockjaw lane.
Pretty good. We see that weird visual glitch here.
So armor over on the left, it does feel a little bit like Ezzy's going to want to push more power in there.
Can only imagine a Tumor probably coming there, and the counter snap now coming down.
So Mana Boy thinks that this has shifted into their favour. And it very...
I'm inclined to agree. We've got Operation Big Lad going on. We know we've got wide devices moving into the later stage of the game, and Ezzy's just not been able to put enough presence on board for it to be overly impactful.
Wow! We've seen the onslaught tech. And that is sending New York to the moon.
Oh.
Being picked up by the dino like Sokovia and sent into outer space.
New York is off the table if you're Ezzy right now.
Yeah, no matter what is moving in there, there's not a lot he's going to do about Onslaught and Devil Dino.
There is not. The Lockjaw lane having a space open threatens what must be an obvious Spectrum in the deck somewhere.
Yeah. Now, saying all of this, Ezzy is down bad on New York. However, the rest of the field doesn't look awful. In fact, if you take just the left and mid lane, they're up by 1 power. So, if you're taking the focus completely away from that right lane, we can only imagine Ezzy's conceded it. You know, shy of having exactly Enchantress.
It's tough. Yo, pick up yourself, Biggs.
Hey, yo.
This is a lot.
Okay, so Claw's not enough to get them the Hellfire Club, as he's not moved anything out of it.
The Lockjaw spin is Mind Stone, not too impactful.
It's not going to affect a great amount of anything. Red Skull coming down the mid.
Oh! And is that the end? That was a rapid one.
That is absolutely in dominating fashion. Mana Boy just...
Good sportsmanship, Sean. You like to see it. Alright, we're back into Wills' game. He's against ex-Bahamut 89.
So, on the third round, looking like both players have taken a 2-cube loss each.
But steady away, steady away.
And now in the final turn of this, looking like if it's played out, then it will be a 4-cuber. But ex-Bahamut only having 1 card on the field right now.
It's true. It's true. That can't be an error.
I'm not sure what's happened up until this point, but I can't imagine I'd be so inclined to stay in the game from that standpoint.
Things do be happening on Wills' side, not so much from ex-Bahamut's side. I just noticed as well that Wills rocks the minty fresh Colgate. He's Colgate gang. With the green borders.
The green borders.
Hey, no worries, Wills. It's all good, man.
Hey, really appreciate you jumping on to start of the stream for his wills.
Yeah, that's a back out from X-Bahamut.
Completely understandable.
Not sure what happened there. Can only imagine that Shang resolved.
Yeah, I think so, definitely. I really think so.
Lament is won against the Thanos player. Oh dear. Oh dear. No idea what X-Bahamut's playing. We know he's got the Aero avatar, and we're seeing Aero on the board.
So, if this is a mirror match, I'm not surprised that there's no snap. If it's not a mirror match, I could see a snap. I could see it coming.
Sunspot, pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
It's the kind of card you want to see on Lamentis.
Sunspot in a lot of decks. Just generally just being one of the best, arguably the best one-drop in the game.
You do be winning games, though. You do be winning games. And we've got a Lizard. It's going to be hard to fill the lane up to get the Lizard reduced. Not impossible, but going to be difficult. It's a 6-card game. You don't really want to be committing 4 cards to one lane.
Yeah, so 2 very good cards. Usually when we'd seen cards like this before the rise of Thanos decks, Shuri decks, we did used to see a couple of cards like this and say it's probably what we'd call good card dot deck. Just the best sort of stuff that you can get going stats-wise, some good effects.
It's true. Sakai is threatening to mess up the scene though here. Sakai with the recent text change to say at the end of the turn, put a card here from each player's hand, and that was to stop weird interactions with cards like Wave and Spider-Man. Opponent do be snapping though.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's a see you later potato from Wills.
Yeah, so...
Gotta love it, gotta love it. You're hitting the retreat later even though the opponent stops.
Just in case. It's a good habit. I mean,
yeah,
you'd rather be in the habit of
clicking retreat later,
even when it's impossible,
yeah,
than being in the habit of accidentally clicking retreat now.
And to be fair, it is the meta thing to do because it gives you a little more time to think about what happens that game, and you lets your opponent know that you didn't immediately click retreat, which can give an ego boost to the opponent.
Yeah.
Take your time, play it out. Got Muir Island on the left. Again, another one that we enjoy. It's easy to have cards run away there.
Yeah, definitely good for a Thanos deck that can pound power into that lane with some efficiency.
Absolutely. We're going to have a big thunk on both players' sides. Pass, open Sunspot.
That's a good move.
It must be nice.
Good move to open a Sunspot.
Space Throne. Both players rewarded for not playing blind there.
I can imagine that Sunspot's going to be soaking an awful lot of power up in that Bear Island.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to meet Shang best he can.
Hello, Shanga's my old friend.
Hala to the right. Not bad, not bad.
So, from what we've seen, both players, the ability to throw down a fairly sizable amount of power in a few cards. Obviously, with the Thanos stuff, it's more hinged on the Lockjaw and being able to roll effectively into a lot of power.
I'd definitely be considering twice if I was X-Bahamut about putting anything into the Hala lane that didn't directly benefit from being destroyed.
Yeah. Because best case scenario, you're killing a Lockjaw and a...
Ooh, the Electro. It's interesting.
Plays it on the left just to make sure he's getting buffs. Maybe just didn't believe that his opponent would risk a Lockjaw on the right.
I'm not sure. 5-drop's definitely be on the table now, though. Bahamut does have priority here, so if you were to play something like Leech, it wouldn't be so bad for the Thanos player to be able to draw afterwards. If he were to play any stones, but I can only imagine there'd be a card akin to Sandman coming down, and he's just really trying to calculate whether he wants to put it in Space Throne, Muir Island, or risk it on the Hala.
Yeah.
Again, this echoes what we were mentioning earlier for those just joining in, that you probably would want a card like Sunspot in an Electro Sandman deck just so you can try win a lane with that plus some little weens.
Yeah.
But we know the power output's only going to be around 20-ish from an Electro player.
So Bahamut definitely thinks they've got it in their hand, just gone in with a snap on turn 4.
Will Wills play it out? Will he play it out?
I mean, at the moment, from Bahamut's side, it's only seeing a Quinjet in the mid, and the left, sorry.
Oh, Aero pull.
Gets 1 pull.
And it's not the Lockjaw, it's the Time Stone.
So it's still very much lane 1.
Oh,
my God! And this just
my God.
Situation awful.
And yeah, he's
And
gonna
we're getting our snap.
It's gonna bugger out the game. Catching up the changes.
Reconnecting now. Hopefully we've got both players reconnected. But with a Lockjaw lane to be the world ship, that is an enormous backfire from Reality Stone.
You hate to see it.
Well,
this is looking like point match to Bahamut.
If you're not a Thanos enjoyer, maybe this is exactly what you wanted to see. Because that is a stinger.
That is an absolute backbreaker.
So even before this happened, Bahamut wanted to snap last turn, knowing that he had the aero play. Aeroed into mid, won that lane. Brilliant. But now, extra energy. And the fact that whatever is put into that lane is random. Wills can't control anything that comes out of there.
I'm pretty sure Bahamut can just end turn. He knows he's got 7 cards in hand. Here comes Big Daddy Mag.
And short of some incredible tech, you'd think this game's over.
Now, he does have Prior here, so Bahamut can still lose this. There is a world where he does lose it. Yes. It's loose. It's definitely loose, but do you play this out? I can't say I would personally. I'm trying to weigh it up and say there's a world where I'd risk it all, but there just isn't.
No. You see, if Wills drops this game, he's clinging on to 1 cube for the rest of the set. And you see it.
Yeah, understandable.
Hurts to retreat for 4, but saving those 2 is vital for the chances of staying in this game.
It gives him the ability to somewhat snap and try even this game out. Now, with a deck as big as Thanos, I'm not sure what he had in hand, but would you risk rolling into Shang saying he doesn't play anything else? And he doesn't soak on the Sunspot because the Sunspot won't get nipped by the...
What, with like 7 cards left in the deck? I don't think so,
Neither do I, brother. Neither do I. It was pretty brutal.
Would be fully living on a prayer. I mean, I would have jumped out of my seat, done laps. But even if it did pull the Shang-Chi, that Sunspot soaking after the Shang-Chi comes out, it's never going to be enough.
That's the copium we were talking about, where you want to hit the tiny percent, but probably not in a tournament. That would have been one of them games on stream where I sent it and Congo shouted at me.
Right, so we've got Electro going down in Atlantis.
Interesting.
So both players committed to not getting the +5 effect, you would think.
Oh, yeah. Crimson Cosmos is a tricky one. Not so much for the Electro ramp player, but with Quinjet down, this is totally doable. He wants to snap for all the cubes. Now, if you're Wills, do you say, yeah, this is my last game that I want, this is the hill I want to die on? A game with Dark Dimension, Crimson Cosmos, and Atlantis. I can only imagine the snap on Electro is Electro into Sandman.
We've not seen a Sandman yet, though.
We are yet to see a Sandman, but I
wouldn't be surprised if he's there in the back.
I don't think there's many Electro decks right now that are playing the Sandman. Just a little bit of lag there. I'm sure it'll catch up. Yeah, and it does.
So, looking like Wills is going to commit. Looking like we're going to see
Couple of cards.
The 3 cubes on the line, and there's the Sandman.
There is the Sandman. Now, it's not clear cut done.
Yeah, we've got 2 cards face down in the Dark Dimension. Bahamut now thinking, how much could he have got down on turn 4, knowing that the stones are free?
A couple of cards.
A couple of question marks, and that's...
So, what's the maximum output here from Bahamut? It's probably around, like we were saying earlier, 15 to 20 in one lane. I'm probably threatening maybe 12 on the right-ish. Maybe, probably less than 10 though with the Atlantis going down. I'm talking about a line like Doom into Odin, maybe Doom into Mag. It's not champion without the Sunspot out. It's just really not. The game is in his favour, but I'd be tempted to just go for tempo here. Let's just start. My lads are bigger than your lads.
Yeah. it seemed like the way out.
What have we got?
I could imagine Doom, yeah.
Doom is coming down.
But we are not going to see a resurgence of Doombots in the form of an Odin.
Top deck Shogun.
It could be.
If only Leech at every card in hand and deck, right?
The biggest of slaps.
It's a pretty big slap. Now, what is the play here?
Bahamut having priority. You would imagine odds are they're going to play something that doesn't have any effect. It's going to be probably the biggest stat line. We see Magneto in decks like this could be coming down with a 12 on one lane. And there we go, cancelled out Magneto. Blue Marvel on the left lane does edge that lane. She-Hulk in the middle will take it, and that is 3 down off of Bahamut after snapping himself.
We just got a real match?
We just got the realest of real matches, my dude.
So there's 2 games, maybe 1 left. Very well played from Wills.
I would imagine this, going off what we've seen so far from how these players have played, we're probably looking at the last match right here.
Well, I'm not sure what Bahamut was thinking was down mid, but I don't think he was thinking about Shulk.
Right, so now that we've seen a snap come down, we are looking at the last game of this set.
Yeah.
As long as we don't have a retreat immediately.
Is this the hill you want to die on, fellas? Is this the hill you want to die on?
Okay, time stone for extra energy on the Commentators.
Wow.
Seen a lizard on the right. Central Park not doing that lizard any favours.
It is really not.
And the Quinjet out for Wills is making it a whole lot more viable.
It is. Yo, appreciate your fishes. Glad to hear that, my dude.
But can we just say, another Crimson Cosmos?
Another Crimson Cosmos. Now, stealth nerf to the Thanos deck. Crimson Cosmos hot location.
Featured battle location and Electro into the TARS. This means that we are going to get heavy cards right now, and they are not going to stop.
We're going to start dumping, drawing cards. We've got Thanos on the table.
So, interesting one to note, guys. You did play the Space Stone into the Commentage, but because of the way the Space Stone effect is worded, it will still only occur once. The ability to move a card, so only able to move one out of the lane when you do that.
It's true. Right, this is going to be a critical turn. Are we going to see Doom on Taj?
Do you think immediately in fear of the leech?
I'd do it.
The thing about the Doom montage that Bahamut will be very aware of is that opens up Central Park to be won by one card from Will's side.
It's true, but you have to make a play, and I don't know if there's a better line. But I don't know Bahamut's deck list entirely, but I don't know if Wills knew that that's how that works. That is unfortunate. Leech isn't awful.
Out, but it's a small stat line.
Here's the Sandman. He's still going to have to commit cards to get over it.
But now with that Leech going down, I'm not sure if that actually just favours Wills now.
Just accidentally buffed. Wasn't what was meant to happen, but okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now
we know Wills can put big power into those 2 slots right there.
and we've not mentioned that Commentators is already looking kind of boxed off.
Yeah. I mean, whatever Bahamut was saving for that Commentators, not really on the table anymore. You see, this is why one of the reasons that Sandman is, I'll say, not a great card to base your strategy around.
Oh, that looks like GG's, WP's to me.
Is because that Sandman coming down in that turn didn't affect Wills at all. All it was
5 cards, and letting him know that he's only doing 1 card at a time. Oh dear. Let's see what he's got.
has to play it out.
Why not, right?
It was Bahamut who came with the snap
He
originally.
did top the
He
Doom.
top deck the Doctor Doom, but that's not enough? No, it's not enough. It's not even... Yeah. Wow, what a showing, but again... That, Sandman here to enter the game to counter the Thanos, but Thanos just too much.
Showing that it can take games, so it can perform on ladder against the Thanos deck. That much is true. We know that. But in the long term, it is still favoured Thanos. Let's go!
Hey, you got Witness back on it. I'm just going to quickly move these buttons.
Let's go! So it looks like... I want to say Sayoko's running Thanos, seeing Sunspot and Armor. That seems to be the blend of the day. And Morbius coming down. Ooh. But yeah, you guys did manage to witness the Nelda with his weird deck that just wins all the time. Oh, the Polaris pulling the mob into the Nid. Interesting. Colleen Wing is hitting Swarm.
Get these buttons looking about right for us.
Rockula into the Cosmo lane on the left. That's got to feel good. Zero coming down on the right for Sayoko. So this may very well be the big deck. Yet to be discovered. Quite a few options.
But yeah, Witness with what looks to be some Murdoch shenanigans.
It does.
Cosmo on the left not looking too bad for Witness as well. Dracula there, very menacing, dominant, but a Red Skull there as well is...
The negated Red Skull as well.
Yeah, kind of big. Right, Nakia goes off. So Witness should have some power to put down now.
Titan not really coming into play for either player there.
So Arrow on the right doesn't hit anything.
It doesn't.
The Apocalypse on the right will take that lane along with the Swarm. And the Swarm going down in the mid will pull the Titania as well. This is looking like all...
Black swipes the Infinite.
All 3 lanes to Witness on the first 2 cubers.
Let's go. Damn.
Yo. So, no Shuri played, but looking like a positively Shuri-filled list.
Sure, he must be in there somewhere.
And I'm kind of excited to see it actually pop off, if it can.
And this is echoing those guys that we just played with Nelda, just somehow
Somehow pulling it out with
it
the
just comes
discards.
out, yeah.
So Plunder Castle on the left. Would imagine if we can assume every card in the deck, it's not looking great for either player, but we know that Witness can potentially play in there.
You cannot. Plunder Castle and Titan means no card can be played in there unless it's
Oh, I
moved in.
didn't see the Titan. So we've got a left lane that, without a wide device, neither player will get into.
Armour to Morbius. Polaris coming through with some Clog. Pauline Wing coming down and hitting Wolverine. This could be huge if it hits Plunder Castle. Oh.
See, that was close to being huge either way. If it was either of the other locations, a huge swing, either in advantage or against.
It's true.
Right. Turn 4, bringing us a Shuri, maybe?
No, it's
a
Sunspot.
Sunspot and just a soak on the 4 energy.
This Dracula's pretty dangerous here. With such limited space, it's very high chance of the Dracula whiffing. Here comes Daddy Red Skull.
Yeah, but it doesn't have his effect negated, so...
I'm hyped to see some Nakia, you know.
Yeah. Seems to have been working very well.
Nakia actually doing things. Snap coming
Snap
down.
going through from Witness, looking to press the advantage. Seeing that Sayoko's Red Skull's not negated.
Biggest thing you can do here is task down mid, which will put 23 to mid. But if we're playing Beast Breaker, you might put it... Yeah, it doesn't really matter where you put it, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. You gotta be thinking from Sayoko's perspective, this is... Yeah. A really good retreat there. Don't think they would have been able to take that with anything they have in the deck.
Dracula, looking scary.
Yep. Creepy, creepy.
Let's go Nakia, you know.
Yo!
Throne
Actually
room on
in
the
the
left.
meta game.
Throne room on the left this time. Opening Sunspot. Seems pretty good.
And another snap from Witness, really looking to press that advantage.
Yeah, Sayoko's on the bad back foot here. Stark Tower. I'm indifferent about Stark Tower.
I mean, the +2s can be, there are some games like last game where you are playing Beast the Breaker. Danger Room on the right as well.
I'd say Danger Room favours Witness.
Yes.
If you can get some swarms discarded, you can safely Gamba into there.
Yeah, huge question mark on
Blizzard's always nice early in Throne Room if you're trying to take priority to get shenanigans like Polaris going. And we've got a Cosmo revealed and a
Sunspot in
Sunspot.
the middle.
Spooky Dracula.
Now, Dracula absolutely threatens to just blow that Throne Room out of the water.
It does. Red Skull coming down, unbuffed, unnegated. Modok coming down.
Ooh, and that
Wolverine.
actually puts them ahead in the lane, gets the free Wolverine into the Danger Room. Not that Wolverine wouldn't have been great to play in there anyway, but...
Now, important to note that Task will be able to copy a buffed Red Skull here. There's only going to be 6 to chase down mid.
But Task cannot be played on the left now.
It cannot. Now, if you're Sayoko, how much fear do you have of this Dracula?
Immeasurable. We've already seen it drop the 20 for the Infinite, so I think from Sayoko's perspective, he's probably looking at it like it's almost definitely going to be, right?
It would appear that way. A tough one. It's definitely a tough one.
Yeah, Isai's been paying attention. He knows that the Modok didn't discard an Apocalypse, so it's whatever's left in the hand. The Swarms are available. And got to be looking at that 2 cubes thinking, can I claw this back anyway? really wants to get some momentum.
Really don't want to lose 4 here. Yeah, don't want to lose 4 here.
Yeah, suffering with the amount of losses, but some good retreats.
Yeah, absolutely.
If not for the retreats, this would have already been curtains, and this would have been wrapped up rapidly.
Oscorp Tower on the left to open. Doesn't offer significant advantage in this matchup to either player. Now, Sinister London is... It's a spooky one, right?
Yeah.
With Oscorp Tower open. Neither player chooses to play on it, chooses to play blind. We've got Morbius coming down from Witness, we've got Lizard coming down from Sayoko, and it reveals to be Hellfire Club.
So I'm not sure about that play from Witness, because I feel even if the second Morbius goes left from a Sinister London, it wouldn't benefit Sayoko at all.
It's clogging, or it's alright.
Yeah, Sayoko's not discarding any cards. I'm wondering if Witness doesn't know about the buff actually going back down after it's switched sides.
Perhaps. Now he takes the Gambit and gives him an armor.
So it is 3 power on board.
You just got to do it, right? Because even if armor goes to the opponent's side, it means that nothing's getting shanged.
Yeah.
So we've not seen it from Witness quite yet, but what we have seen throughout these matches is it's not a card that people like to play straight away. They like to keep it up the sleeve.
So a couple of sunspots is always good on London.
A couple of Draculas is pretty good as well, man.
You might even say better.
Oh, what's coming down? We got double Shuri,
and now we have officially got a game 2 Modocs, which means the Apocalypse is going to get discarded again, and those swarms.
Oh, if only we'd have doubled the mob, man.
That would be a lot of power.
This is a lot of stuff. This is a lot of stuff. I believe that's a snap coming down from Sayoko.
Yeah, absolutely is, and Witness absolutely right to take that L there.
Double Shuried, whatever it is. Yeah, you're not getting over it, bro.
Sayoko's got to be kicking themselves a little for not snapping before putting that double Shuri down. Not yet in this set, as he played the Shuri up until that point. Another Sinister London game.
Turn 1, double Sunspot. Feels good, man.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Washington, D.C.
Very so-so.
Yeah, it doesn't affect either player, really.
Just a location that they can play in, I guess.
Very neutral ground.
Does get the double Morbius this time, which could potentially be huge.
Oh,
but it's a rickety bridge.
my God.
Those cards are going to die. There is no question. Sayoko is not going to do the double armor, surely.
May the RNG forever be in your favour, gentlemen. We're playing roulette on the London.
So it's both on the Morbius, but only the one.
A big passer coming in from Sayoko with the big deck. Not unsurprising.
And a snap coming in from Sayoko. Now they're trying to swing the game back in their favour.
It's trying to get back involved.
So it may come down to who can win Sinister London harder. And with double Shuris, I think
you'd learn.
we might have an answer.
Witness willing to play it out a little more.
So that's going to debuff the Lizard as 60 red skull, and it goes into the middle as well, and that's got to be it for Breakers. I can't see a way out of this. What more can Witness put on Breakers? I don't think it's possible.
I mean, he's getting a lot done. I don't think it's enough, though.
It is a lot, but there's no more discards, there's no more Modoc.
Yeah, the threat of task ever looming.
Those 4 cubes actually now putting Sayoko back in front. 2 games in a row, Sinister London, Shuri, and when you've got that card and that location, woof.
Now, if you're Witness, would you have done that on the Sinister London after seeing it last time?
No.
The snap before?
No,
I
I would have backed out and saved those cubes. You know what's coming.
I do believe it'd have been a see you later potato. It's hard to do, though, because it's so fun to play on Sinister London, especially with this deck that Witness is piloting. I do believe in this deck. I do think it's got legs. As you all guys seen that have been here for a while about the Team Nelda. Jesus!
TVA.
And we have not seen anyone with any sort of location control up to this point. I don't think it's in either player's deck. Location control definitely out of favour right now with all the Thanos rolling around in the Reality Stone. It's just too much to dedicate.
But Sayoko having to skip all the way until turn 3 and plays a card into the Danger Room. It's going to discard the Apocalypse just for the buff on the Morbius.
Oh.
Sunspot sticks the Danger Room and could that swing things? Because
it do be sticking.
Because
though.
if it comes down to breakers here,
if it comes down to breakers, Mojo's got it in the bag.
Has won. Sayoko wants to snap back. They've got it.
He must have Typhoid. We've not seen it up until this point, but it makes sense in this deck. He must have the Typhoid.
There's a
Wolverine sticks, and it's a Shulk.
That Wolverine sticking was terrible for him, but it would have had to land exactly back in Danger Room, and that's all of Witness's cubes. I'm
in shock there.
I'm struggling to understand why Witness only having 2 mana worth of cards to play on turn 4 would have played that out.
Here we go, guys. Here we go.
Quarterfinals, let's get it, everybody. Right, so
we got Torrigan versus Yeet.
Looking like we're going to have to adjust this viewport. Oh. We've not accounted for this resolution. Oh, it's because we're on mobile. Why are we on mobile? There we go. Gonna move these into the right frame for you guys.
Oh, so talking about the game, we've got Sunspot on Yeet's side, we've got Soulstone, Reality Stone, both from Washington DC, Shadowland in the middle, and Zabu coming down on lane 3 for Yeet, which is Subterranea, which can only be bad news for Torrigan.
Right, we've got the display set up and the match setting up. So, again, seeing Thanos super popular in this tournament. Not just this tournament, tournaments on ladder and everything around the world really at the moment in this game.
Yeet flexing them gold card backs from last season.
Nice and shiny.
We see Wave coming down on 3, and we know that's not to stun Yeet because it's not going to do it much against the Zabu player. We see a Snap coming down.
So Torrigan absolutely fancying the chances in this one. We know that Yeet can possibly put 2 4-drops down on this turn through the Wave.
Here comes the Leech. Sweats the Shulk. Soaks the Sunspot.
So, it's a decent amount of power output. But you'd be wondering what's in Jeet's hand already. To have been battered by that. Now, top decking through Subterranea after being hit by Leech can definitely spell situation bad, and looking like it is pretty bad if the only pace there is a Cosmo on turn 5.
It's true. Now, not all is lost. We are going to have to see a serious hedge here from Torrigan to even things out. Yeet still had 2 top decks, didn't reveal the top deck last turn. Could be something out of the hat here. We're not sure on Yeet's list though.
So, from what we can see at the moment, Zabu, Cosmo, the Hood, Sunspot. We know that there's a 1/6 demon in hand. So could be big things coming.
At least 6 power getting flyed out.
And could be an opportunity to soak on Sunspot as well.
It's true. Now, we didn't mention it, but the demon actually represents 9 power on the right because of Washington DC.
On the left, that'd be.
On the left, my bad. That is a lot of stuff.
They are cards.
We are doing stuff right now.
So cancel that Titanium, rock onto the left, and G actually takes that one. So looking like Torikun really wanted the leech to be more effective, but the sheer amount of one drop power there from G is a lot to be trying to handle.
And it is a very interesting deck that we're seeing here.
Yeah.
Could this even be the weird stature list that's going around at the moment?
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
I am not sure.
Yeah, definitely a lot of one drop power. So, first round, Jeet's opening the Quinjet. That's new from what we've seen. And
Ooh.
the change of reality into Savage Land means that the left lane is very, very clogged at the moment.
Cam Plane offering 3 drops, which could quite easily be Killmonger. Stranger things have happened. Now, how do you feel about pacing out Reality Stone turn on Comma?
I would always lane check before Reality Stone, unless it was the biggest drawback to the deck you can imagine.
Cloning Vats on the right. Now, this could be huge. We've seen Moon Girl come from Yeet, so Cloning Vats really could come in clutch here.
And not always very effective for a Thanos player. I thought Cosmo coming down there as well. Onto the Lockjaw.
Double dog lane. And now we're going to see a Cosmo in another lane as well. But does Yeet have the power to back it up?
And again, because of that Reality Stone, because of that clog now there, does Jeet know? Probably.
It's more than likely. It's going to be a rough one no matter what.
So, backing up that lane, Titania comes down and clones.
And here's the Max.
The Maximus will send it, and that's a free Max as well.
Titania clogging the Lockjaw lane.
And Quinjet
For the Shang.
doesn't send it back because of the Lockjaw effect.
So we cannot send that Titania back, but Yeet could pull it back whenever he wants.
Exactly. That has got to feel rough.
Interesting gameplay going on.
So Torikun now actually taking the advantage back because of having more power on the board, winning the left and the mid lane. So I've got to say, I'm quite interested in Jeet's decision to snap there. Wasn't expecting to finish the sentence with that, but not play the second Cosmo in the mid, knowing about them on reveal effects.
Cleaning up the Lockjaw lane.
Case in point right there, we know that Jeet has another Maximus from the Vats, but is completely allowed to get that effect off. Soulstone also damaging that lane and making it very much Torikun's. So now a fight for either lane is going to be really difficult.
If you're Torikun, I'd probably imagine that you abandon Savage Land. Got to take Lockjaw for a spin, surely.
We can't really imagine with anything that we've seen that Jeet's going to be able to push over 5 power into Camp Lehigh.
I doubt it. Seriously doubt it. This one's for 4.
Jeet could possibly have the power of Hedge. We've seen them play some one-drop stuff, but Titania already being out. The Hood not already on the field means they don't have a demon in hand. And Captain, I am bursting with anticipation.
I'm really interested to see how this one plays out. Quite a bit of stuff coming down.
That is a lot of cards.
And the spin is the leech.
Not going to be very effective in this turn.
Here comes Max. Pulls the Titania forward. Titania
will push the other Titania back. and a Kazar.
Oof. The breaker says. Yo, the Kazar that nobody saw. What is this list, comma?
Effective is what it is.
It's going in right now, fully teched out.
So this is the new zoo, right?
I mean, I'm not sure.
This is what looks to be the most teched out version of one of the decks we all loved playing in pool 1 and 2.
It's pretty crazy, man. A lot of good cards going on. Effective.
Series Zoo.
Right, Sunspot coming down into Kunlun. Power Stone coming down into Kunlun for Torikun. Zabu coming down and blind. Ends up being Tinker's Workshop. Both players were reluctant to play into Necroshare. Can you think of any cards that have come out that have been truly effective from Zabu? Not your classics that you'd expect.
Yeah, not particularly. Wonder if there's just maybe 1, 2.
There you go. Kazar. Cheeky Kazar. Sunspot coming down from Torikun. Hood coming down and Kazar coming down from Yeet. Hood into the Kunlun. Sunspot into the Tinker's Workshop. Both players still not playing into Necroshare.
See, one of the most amazing things about this is understanding that not many players are going to be playing Killmonger because it's not too effective against Thanos, and that's mostly what's running around.
It is.
So a zoo right now in this meta
It does have legs.
is looking quite fantastic so far.
So Dino comes down on the right for Torikun. Quinjet comes down for Yeet. We did have Time Stone in the last turn as well, which is how the Dino managed to get out. Both players still not wanting to play a Necroshare. We've got a Super Soaker coming in.
Yeah. Past now, we've seen Yeet already play that She-Hulk. So, very real possibility that at least Torikun's got to be fearing that at the moment.
Absolutely. She-Hulk plus what? A bunch of random good cards, but they're not so much random, but unexpected. Well, I guess that's what random is.
They're definitely not random when we've seen the Hood come down, so we know there's at least a She-Hulk and a Demon, but then that gives Jeet a lot of power to play with, a lot of energy to play with.
And he doesn't have Prior, does Torikun? Torikun does not have Prior. Yeah. Is this the hill he wants to die on?
So, even up on power on the board, can Torikun really say that enough unfair things have happened from his side?
Not really. We've seen Cosmo, but we're yet to see the Shan come from Yeet. I'd be very shocked if you didn't play it. Yeah.
Absolutely. He will take that and hang on to this entire set by 1 cube.
Torikun's going to have to pull something really serious out the bag here.
So, we were talking earlier about what is the real answer to Thanos, and we might have just found it.
We can't judge it on 3 games, mind, but it is...
But this is not the first round of the tournament.
It's not.
This
It does have legs. Again,
Okay, so Reality's going to switch to the X-Mansion. Throws a layer of RNG which could swing the game, but Dark Dimension, we know, is definitely not good for a Thanos player.
a great point being brought up in chat there that the Demon was actually 0 cost because of Quinjet. Which is pretty wild.
This has got to be scary to look at.
The Valk. Not too impactful. Uatu.
Yeah, I'd say coming out in Torikun's favour there, but that lane now being clogged with 3 cards.
Ooh, we've got a little bit of lag going on.
A little bit of a glitch on the screen while it catches up. Come on, Westview.
You can do it, Westview. I've not had a freeze quite this long. Reconnecting to game.
Catching up with changes.
Reconnecting.
Looks
There
like
we
a
go.
dark dimension in the back.
Double dark dimension. So the cards from Moon Girl are going to be discounted from Quinjet as well.
Yes.
Oh, we see if Torrican's got signs of life.
Yeah, we now have a face down card on their side of the board. Yeet having 2 in the middle dark dimension. But Yeet must like what's in the hand, because they want more of it.
Would it be too far-fetched to say, oh, that's a lot of stuff?
That would not be far-fetched to say at all. Demo, it would not. So they've conceded the left lane. Short of, we've seen Kazar, which could buff the Quinjet up by 1.
And the Uatu.
And the Uatu, yeah. So that would make it a tie. Not sure how much power pushing they can do otherwise. But I wouldn't be overly surprised to see a Blue Marvel in this list.
I'm not sure if all of this was strictly necessary. It might have been fear of the leech. And just get everything down right now. That is a lot of stuff.
Yep, a very full board.
Stuff is happening.
Arrow not effective. And Space Stone going to get rolled by the Lockjaw now. You see a leech come down far too
Turn
late.
6 leech. Here's the armor. Followed by a max. Buffing the dino. There's the Kazar. Ant-Man.
Still conceding the left lane thus far though.
Ant-Man.
Extra ants. So they're going to take the right.
Another Kazar.
Did get the double Kazar from the Moon Girl.
Zabu. Anti-Tadiot.
But it is not enough to take the left
No,
lane.
Yeet's showing signs of life.
Toricon.
Torrican showing signs of life.
Yeah, and
sorry.
Toricon really smart to put an extra 3 power in that lane. Definitely made the calculations, seen the Kazar before. Noted the Moon Girl, made sure to have enough power in there. That is so smart.
So it does appear to be a good card zoo. Now, Jeet doesn't seem to have any sort of location control, so it is up to Torrican to get rid of this mindscape that we see on the left as the first location.
Now, that being said, just as we saw in the last game, Yeet has the capability of getting a lot of cards out on turn 5, but with this middle location being the Avengers compound, we now see that they are then very limited on that option, so how much can they get out before turn 5?
Even less now with Minilab getting revealed on the third location.
So I do wonder which player this is going to be worse for.
I'm leaning towards Yeet. Cosmo coming down. Space Stone getting moved to mid.
As much as Cosmo's not good for Toricon, he's got to be happy to see it there, at least. Know that he can play safely and reserve his effects for the other locations.
It's true. Sweats the Shulk down mid. Plays the Soul Stone. Max behind the Cosmo and Quinjet gets played.
And this is it, make a break for the Mindscape.
It's too late.
Anything shy of a redstone right now on that location, and it definitely will be too late, Demo.
It's Avengers compound, you can't do it.
Oh, yep. My bad. Never mind me, I'm just out here not reading. So both players with the space to only put down 2 cards each.
I mean, Yeet's at least got a 0 power demon that he can mash right.
Okay, Lockjaw's going to spin out the Quinjet, and the Time Stone is not the pull that Torikun would have wanted.
All right. That's for. I said he should put it right. He puts it mid to avoid Torikun being able to play it. Now, let's see what goes on.
Okay, big swap. And Torikun just doesn't even play it out, doesn't want to see it, knows the answer that they've given to G. That deck has got legs! Jesus, Demo, what are we watching?
I'm not sure.
I don't know about anyone else, but
he just managed to make it work.
The new zoo was not on my bingo card for this tournament.
Not at all.
Ooh, you already know that this is spicy.
Yo, shout with the gifted sub. We'll be bigging it up afterwards, man. Yo, Will's looking like he's going to play his Sunspot to the right into darkness. Triskelion coming up as position 2. Yo. Appreciate you so much, Shatter. Big up yourself each and every time.
Yeah, thank you so much, Shatter.
Now, Triskelion's going to affect G more than it's going to affect Will's, I do believe, because this really messes up the Moon Girl potential. Which is how he has been winning a lot of his games.
Yeah, that yellow jacket paste out feels okay, but also feels very clog.
Plunder Castle. That's bad news for G. I don't think he can get in there. Unless he's running Chavez that we've not seen yet, but...
Yeah, that is looking kind of bad. I wouldn't be overly surprised at a Chavez in the list. I think the idea being get a full hand with the Moon Girl before you get to that point.
Yeah.
Be able to push all your stuff out.
I mean, we're never shocked at seeing Chavez in a list.
Alright, Kazar in the sewer. Not going to be big enough for that sunspot that's soaking to face it on its own.
Interesting spread from Wills here. And a snap coming in from Wills. Now, Avengers Compound's got to be one of the worst locations for G.
Yeah.
Just force it in.
And G just takes that one on the chin. You know, no way of getting into Plunder Castle, having to play on the compound.
Very smart retreat there from G.
Yeah.
Alright, round 2.
But it's those kind of retreats that will get you far in a tournament. You know,
it's true.
G not willing to say, I don't believe you. You know, looking at the location advantage and all that. It's those kind of smart plays, smart saving of cubes that will get you a lot further in the long run.
First location being the Vault, Sunspot coming up.
We see a Shang-Chi and the Moon Girl.
Sokovia second location could be backbreaking for G here.
Yeah, not looking like that Shang was going to be super important in this matchup at all.
Yeah,
and,
happy discard there.
G staring down the barrel of disappointment. Now, with both of these decks, it doesn't look hard to get into the vault before turn 6. Wills wants to take another snap there, possibly trying to just bully G into another retreat, I think.
He decides to play it out. Oh, can you imagine?
Oh. I mean, the fact that the HUD was there means that would have only been a tie in that lane.
Yeah.
But then the Khazars in the deck would have made all of the difference.
So we know there's no Moon Girl. We've not seen any Quinjet yet from G. Armor on the right ends up being Fist Tower location 3. Now, do you pass here if you wills? Because you do have the advantage having Sunspot already out.
No, it's going to depend on...
Both players skip.
Ooh.
Or choose not to skip. He's got the jet out.
So it's a Quinjet Sunspot, and now both players with a sunspot in the vault, neither protected by the armor, but wouldn't almost definitely not seeing a Killmonger coming out in this game.
It's true.
And then the contemplation of a pass.
I mean, if you will here, you've got to get rid of these rocks. If you G, not so much.
So yeah, looking at how that reality stone changed the location advantage. If you will's here, pretty upset by reality right now.
Yeah, reality often does suck.
It's the risky run of playing a Thanos deck. Sometimes reality will just shift a lane out of your favour.
Oh, we've seen a Shulk get sweated and a Khazar coming down.
Okay, so one Khazar down and no Moon Girl.
No Moon Girl.
That does tip the hand to say there is no threat of another Khazar.
It does. Now, G is winning mid here. He does have the zero cost demon in hand. The big pass.
Oh, so that arrow coming down onto the right lane.
Cleans his rocks up as well.
Doesn't drag anything, just hoping that the Sunspot's going to be able to overpower that lane, but it's still not enough at the moment.
And what's the play if you're G here? You've got Ant-Man, you've got Demon. We don't know that he's got Ant-Man, but just in general. He does have the potential to beast the Fist Tower and soak a little bit.
Yeah, also knowing that Wills can't play on the Collapsed Mine does mean that Titania is an easy option for that lane.
It's true. But even just Demon, mid, and soak seems solid.
Yeah, any amount of soak in here. One mana worth of soak will put him on par, assuming that Wills actually wants to spend the energy. And that's a lot of cards.
We've got Quinjet, we've got Blue Marvel coming in from Wills, cranking the mid lane, cranking the left lane as well. There's the Demon, there's the Ant-Man.
The Ant-Man we were talking about.
The Titania.
So, very much taking that right lane.
Cosmo, a bit of a soak.
But it's not enough.
That's 4
So
cubes
G
down
actually
for G.
G actually really wanting to push power into that right lane backfired, and the amount of mana that they maybe could have saved.
I don't know if Blue Marvel had been revealed at that point yet. I don't think so. Very well played from Wills.
Yeah, Blue Marvel being a big threat in Thanos decks. And we
Icebox,
got an early snap from Wills.
Icebox comes down. Icebox, one of those locations that you don't think about too much. It's easy to not see which card got hit initially and carry on playing. Ant-Man coming down from G. Mind Stone coming down from Wills. G's willing to accept the snap.
So Wills has pulled the textbook move of any Thanos player, which is open Yellowstone and snap.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Quinjet to the right. Soul to mid. Space to mid.
And an Oscorp Tower to punish that Quinjet on the right, and that has got to feel awful for G, especially after Wills has already snapped.
You hate to see it. Murder World and Oscorp Tower really stopping both players from being able to commit to the field to anywhere apart from Icebox right now. We could see an armor come out from Yeet down mid. But that Quinjet is unfortunately gone. And Yeet is just in such a terrible position at the moment and not being able to do any of his combos that we were seeing in the game previous.
Yep. So, short of Zabu helping a Khazar out and being able to pump
We do see Armour come down mid. He's willing to give him the space stone, and Lockjaw comes down on the left. Oh, that's a field bad.
But yeah, knowing that you either don't have to play your Quinjet, or even better, can roll it away with Lockjaw completely and consequentially, has got to feel good for Wills now.
It's true.
Chooses to actually play the Quinjet in the middle.
We've got a big roller. Big Daddy Mag.
It's not going to do anything because the Moon Girl comes out just afterwards.
Oh, there's no discount here. We've got a somewhat honest game on Yeet's side. Wills is threatening that unfair stuff.
I'm wondering what Will's rationale is of actually playing and keeping that Quinjet out, because it doesn't seem like they'll be able to get any more mana advantage from having it there. So I'm wondering if it's just for the stats, that Blue Marvel that we've already seen, making sure it's got players on the board to hit with it.
I mean, it's the ethos of the Thanos deck. Just do stuff.
Very good at doing stuff.
Don't stop doing stuff. The big passer coming in. Sunspot coming down mid for G. Now, G does have Prior here. He's up, but not by overly much. G's going to really struggle to contest the left lane. He's got to go for mid and right.
Currently up in both of those lanes, but he's seen a pass from Wills there.
We yet to see a Shang from G.
That is true. It's not looking likely that we'll see one right now, unless it is going down on the left. And Jeet wants to snap that. So we have potentially got a 5 cube game right here. And it could be the end if Jeet doesn't manage to pull it out right now.
I'm not sure about this one, Chief. We're going to have to see a madness.
There's a lot of cards.
Sweats a Shulk, Titania.
Yeah.
Sweats a Shulk, Titania. Sweats a Shulk, steals the Tanya.
And the
Rams a Dino, steals the Tanya.
And that was not the wise snap. Oh!
He really wanted to see more from Jeet, but Jesus. That's rough.
Crazy.
That's rough.
Match about to start. Kineo and Wills both in.
Let's go.
Let's get it.
Kineo representing the Daredevil avatar. Superflow, fan favourite to start with. Let's get it. Will we see an immediate snap on Superflow from either player? I wouldn't think so. I'd like to play it a bit conservatively on that first game.
In the finals of the tournament, bear in mind it's best of 3, but still, this first round is going to represent a lot in terms of the momentum.
2 cards coming down, and it does look like a mirror match. Yellowstone and Greenstone, but no snap into the mid from Kineo, and Sunspot into the right from Wills. Middle location is about to be revealed. It's the Wrath.
Oh, that could be absolutely gold for Kineo. Already having 2 cards in there.
He can fill it right now if he wants, but if he fills it right now, he may be conceding the mid lane, unless he drew Bluestone, and there is a very good chance he got Bluestone from Yellowstone.
Yep, you would imagine. We also don't know if Kineo's running any kill package. Could have a little tech in there. Not overly likely, but we have seen it today.
Prior is in Kineo's favour, even though it's an equal board state. So here we go. Spin to win.
The unexpected spin takes reality.
Lockjaw for the Shulk. Raft for the tunnel. Oh,
This game is just blown wide open. Quinjet coming out for Wills.
It's an absolute fiesta right now.
So, not a lot of power swing in that mid lane, but now it's a lockjaw lane for everybody involved, and Wills wants to snap on that.
Wills is gonna snap on his lockjaw lane.
Okay.
A little bit of lag going on.
Oof.
And that is a leech generated by the hub, comma.
You are kidding.
There's a space stone as well.
See,
For Dino,
that is clutch for Wills, because the threat of that middle lane was starting to look like it could end up just staying weak.
Muir Island Reality Stone on the Quantum Tunnel swap.
Huge benefit for Wills.
He does get a space stone left as well, so he is able to move his lockjaw, but he does have a leeched up hand.
Now, moving
What
the
is going on here?
Moving the lockjaw when your hand's been leeched could be very good to shuffle some cards out that might not be as useful anymore.
The problem is, he has 5 1-drops on his side of the field. He can't be having too much more for the cycling the lockjaw.
Yep.
There's a high chance that leech sucks real bad for Kineo.
But yeah, both players playing a Space Stone in that last movement right there means that they've both got the potential to move a card out of the respective lane. I still can't believe my eyes, Demo. A leech from the hub.
It's pretty wild. He does move the lockjaw. Dinos gets moved from Wills.
And Wills has
Your
predicted
ankle's
that
down.
perfectly. Knew that the
Time
She-Hulk
Stone.
wasn't getting out of there.
Soulstone. Gonna give it a spin. Power Stone.
And it is just looking like everything is stacking in Will's favour right now.
Wills is up in every lane considerably.
It's got extra power, energy to spend this turn as well because of the space, the time stone.
Now, not to count Kineo out, he could still get a good spin on the lockjaw and represent some serious power in one of the lanes.
But Wills has priority now.
Yo, here comes the mag to steal the lockjaw.
Magneto again with the dog treats. We've seen it before today, and that is brutal.
Oh,
And a counter leech coming back. I'm just not sure if that's too little, too late.
Oh, he has to play Leech fair.
Yeah.
Playing Leech fairly, not good enough. He needed to spin into something big.
Kineo with nowhere near enough pace, and yeah, that's a solid round to Wills again.
Oh, Big Daddy Mag. Yo, G, thank you very much for the follow, bro. GG's.
Yeah.
Really sick deck, man. Really sick deck.
Yeah, we really enjoyed watching you play that.
Alright. We've got Stark Tower for the opener. Mentioned it before. Stark Power can swing a game, but it's not one of them all.
It's not overly much.
But it can be impactful.
Yes.
It's easy to forget about it.
And we see in Thanos decks as well, oftentimes cards that could move around as well.
It's true.
Got Space Stone, sometimes people will be playing...
Sokovia. It's the Mag. It's the Time Stone. Mag from Kineo's side. Time Stone from Will's side.
So from Will's side, you've now got the ability to play the Power Stone on Thanos completely shut off. Because there's no opportunity to get that stone back.
Reality Stone for the Atlantis. And Power Stone coming down from Kineo. Big Pass coming down on Will's side. Hala revealed as the third location. Again, probably indifferent towards the Hala.
Yeah, I feel like both players in this game right now not looking at any of these locations as a problem or a benefit.
No. What we do know is Kineo has burnt his Reality Stone.
And at the moment, Wills is keeping priority because of the Atlantis effect.
Oh, Reality Stone coming down from Wills into Warrior Falls. This is
Let's
going to be...
shuffle that one more time.
This is going to become a fiesta.
And that armor landing on the right means that the Quinjet is now open to getting punched down by the Power Stone.
Can he block it? Will he sacrifice in the Warrior Falls to save the Quinjet?
That is a 1v1 grudge match we'd all love to see. A Power Stone trying to take down the Quinjet on its own. Flying into the air like a big purple pebble. So reality again, making huge mix up, and the arrow moving the space stone, it turns out, into the Haller. Quinjet is down.
And this is looking like advantage Kineo, very much so. We've got 2 power represented on the board by turn 5 on the Thanos deck from Wills. Very uncharacteristic from the tournament. Can he pull this back?
But yeah, Kineo playing absolutely solid in this round. Surprised to have not seen a snap already.
There's no lockjaw being revealed yet. You know, it pivots on a 50-pence piece.
Absolutely does. But Kineo knew what he was doing with that arrow.
Also, because Thanos decks can threaten all 3 lanes fairly easily, 8 and 3 on turn 5, it isn't great from either player.
There's a very, very good point, but we know that both of them are
More than capable.
and going to be willing.
So I understand not snapping from Kineo here. You don't want to make the guesswork like that. Dino coming down from Kineo, and a sweaty Shulk from Wills, and a Yellowstone in mid. Moving into the final turn.
So, 2 stones already been blown up for Wills.
Aye.
Oh, one stone by the Warrior Falls. One's discarded by Sokovia.
Yeah.
3 stones on board, so the Mind Stone will have drawn the 1 remaining one.
Very, very spooky stuff. Now, do you want to play this out for 2?
I'm wondering if that was Kineo's logic, thinking that the snap preemptively might have been a 1 cube, where Wills may have held on for a... just as I'm about to finish the sentence, he's not going to hold on for it, which is fair enough.
In the final, this is not a hedge you want to take. Now, that was a slobber knocker from both players in the sense that nothing really went well, but they were making the best. Oh, Reality Stone gets discarded from Sokovia, and Quinjet from Wills.
Wow.
That's an instant snap from Kineo. He's willing to see it.
No, that was Wills. That was
Wills
a
snapped.
blue snap on the board after seeing the Quinjet get taken.
Loses the Quinjet, snaps to establish dominance.
And Kineo doesn't mind that. Kineo's got the Quinjet.
Kineo does decide to open Quinjet though. Altar of Death. This could be
Wow. So
game warping location.
now we absolutely know for sure that the only player capable of changing that location, the only one still holding the red stone, is Kineo.
Armor.
Is Wills, sorry.
Yellowstone. Alright, no shenanigans from Altar of Death. I wanted to see it personally, but
Yeah.
collapsed mine
Ooh.
on the lockjaw lane.
So neither player with a sunspot on the board. So a pass here. 3 energy burnt.
You're definitely more inclined to pass if you willed, I believe.
I can't see Wills not passing to free up that lockjaw lane.
He needs to get that lockjaw involved. It just really sucks that he's not able to do his shenanigans right now. I'm not seeing Killmonger from either player.
Not happening.
And we were wrong looking at that. Kineo passed, and Wills decided against it. Decided to get his sunspot down to get the most out of it. It's pretty wild. And
But-
Reality Stone did come down and give them both a ninja, which
Yep.
is his major cloggers.
But probably worse for Kineo, given that the armor and the Mind Stone not getting any buffs. And very smart to have gotten that sunspot.
Sweats a shulk.
Out to get rid of these rocks.
Right, moving into turn 5 now. If Wills has got a lot of stuff to cycle on this lockjaw, it could be a very swingy turn.
Certainly think so. So the counter snap,
Counter snap is serious.
meaning that moving into turn 6 means it's instantly 4 cubes.
Rolling deep. We'll see if Kineo wants to roll as well. Is he going to start doing stuff? Error. Brutal.
And Wills again.
Sweats a
Not seeing it
shulk.
coming, but the She-Hulk there actually
It's not awful,
makes
you know.
that not anywhere near as bad as it could have been.
Not awful. We're still threatening a massive cycle on the lockjaw lane. Left, actually, we're up. Mid, we're up. It's not looking great for Kineo here.
That being said, Kineo does actually have more power on the... almost as much power on the board, given that it's 5 in the mid and 3 on the left.
It's true,
It
but
does have more actual power on the board at the moment.
he has played a lot of his one-drop cards. This is anyone's game.
But Wills threatens a potential soak.
Threatens the soak. He has the lockjaw.
Not played some more of his own tech cards.
He's not revealed his arrow. Soulstone coming down in mid. Power Stone left. Shang on the right.
Shang-Chi is going to take that lane
Oh,
on his back.
for the Dino.
So that looks like definitely a lane winner. Dino is not going to be enough.
Oh, that's the
Kineo
first game.
Right out of this. Wow.
Takes the 8Q Beamer chance against Wills.
Right, so we're quickly going to switch back to the other scene while these guys prepare the next round of this, just so that they can sort the code out in the meantime. But wow. The
Jesus.
start to this. Wills with 9 health remaining to get through that.
Comes through with the Beamer, willing to risk it all. Decided it was a hill he was willing to die on.
I can't believe the snap demo. I can't believe that counter snap. Just to ram a dino.
The dog never came. Never came for Zinio. What I will say is that Mag has been very, very impactful in the Thanos matchup. More impactful
Yep.
than I thought it'd be. Pulling the dog is...
Well, dogs plural. With it, you know, it can for the people,
Oh, yeah.
the players who do run it with a Cosmo, pulling both of the dogs. But yeah, more impactful on the lockjaw, making sure that either if you've got priority, they can't play into it, or you can clog up a different lane using that lockjaw, and it's just been backbreaking every time.
Every single time.
Ooh wee.
Brutal.
Stand up real quick.
So we are just waiting for the codes to come through, and it looks like it is getting sorted out now.
And we're ready to get back on. So advantage Wills.
Superflow again on the left. Fan favourite.
Because, yeah, got to point out again, Will's yet to drop a single set through this entire tournament.
Madness. So far, from what we've seen from Wilt, not taking anything away from the deck building whatsoever, but this is a typical Thanos lockjaw,
Yeah.
piloted extremely well.
You can say that again.
We've got armor coming down into blind, and we've got Reality Stone on the right.
Switches it into a Vormir. Both players able to pass into there with not too much difficulty, you'd think.
Subterranea.
Ooh. So now we've got a real who can high roll better situation if they're willing.
I mean, we've got we've got locations like District X, we've got locations like Weird World, and then Subterranea. Doesn't suck quite as much as the other two, but man,
It's pretty bad.
it's pretty bad. Space Stone coming down from Kineo down mid to back up his armour, and a Lockjaw coming into the mid lane with the armour on. Very interesting.
I'm wondering if that's a big brain move from Kineo there, just to make sure he doesn't have to pass into Vormir, wanting to keep the cards out on the board.
We do know the Lockjaw interaction with Vormir is very strange, where it will blow up and still cycle. He does move the armour. Moves it into Vormir so he gets a pass and sweats a Shulk. Space Stone coming down into the Lockjaw lane, who's going to bring out his own Shulk.
Oh, we've got a Shulk for Shulk. And the interesting thing about that play is that Kineo's also offered it up to Wills there, so now Wills doesn't have to take a pass into Vormir, can also play freely.
It's true.
So, a little bit early maybe to have made that play, but I'm not in the final of a tournament.
We'll have to see how it pans out.
Yeah. Going from the Space Stone that Wills played, we've now got another opportunity to move cards potentially.
Now, we've not mentioned how lucky it was to pull that Shulk through Subterranea. We're not sure how many rocks are in Will's hand, if any at all. We do know that it is a 5 mana turn for both players, which is very critical.
And we still don't know if Kineo has actually got their Lockjaw.
Oh, the arrow into Superflow. It moves the Lockjaw right. He gets hit by the leech.
So that leech could be more impactful than having to cycle out for Lockjaw. Still has the 2 spaces available to do it as well.
Maybe yes, but maybe no. Gonna have to find out. So far throughout the tournament, any time a leech has been arrowed on 5, the person that leeched has lost that game.
Yeah.
So far.
But this is a little bit of a different setup, and Wills does still have the opportunity to high roll if he can get through the rocks.
Kineo's gonna have to start doing some unfair stuff here.
So one thing to note as well is that the She-Hulk on Kineo's side is protected by the armor.
So
But now, the Devil Dino and the She-Hulk on Will's side both open to being punched as they are over 9 power.
She-Hulk can't be punched as it's under armor.
Are the ones on Will's side?
Oh, my apologies, yeah. So, we're still threatening a cycle on the Lockjaw lane, but it is wild to cycle under Subterranea, especially in a final. Neither player snapping here, want to play it honest. The Dino trade for the Power Stone last turn, both on the Superflow, feels really bad.
But without knowing what each player is going to pull from the hand, knowing that Kineos has been leeched, I think it's just stacked in Will's favour right now.
It's definitely stacked in Will's favour. Just the threat of the Lockjaw on the right. Oh, the Power Stone play makes more sense to me if the Shulk hadn't been revealed.
Yes.
There's no Sunspot on board. It looks like his hand's heavy AF.
But only one card on the left, that Mind Stone buffing that Devil Dino back up, and the Blue Marble to put power into that lane. It's been cancelled. And Wills is actually taking the cube loss from that one just because of the raw power of Magneto, and it actually helps.
If it hadn't have been leashed, it'd have pulled the Lockjaw and it'd have lost the game.
Exactly.
Wow.
Helps so much that it wasn't able to pull the dog.
Will's choosing not to take the gamble on the lockjaw lane really came back to bite him there.
Yeah, badly.
Murder World revealed on the first location, straight into the next game. It wasn't a big cube beamer.
No, but
Just
did
a
you
cheeky
see-
2 cubes, but it was very well executed from both players.
But the Kineo snap turn 1, Quinjet out into the abyss.
Oof.
Both players starting strong here. Mindstone and Quinjet, two of probably the 2 best cards to have on turn 1.
Now, we've not seen it yet from Camp Lee, but Camp Lee is capable of giving either player Killmonger.
I know you want to see it,
I
man.
really want to see it, man.
I'd love to see that too, man.
Not to give it commentator's curse, but again, the Leech got arrowed, lost the game. Last game.
It's true. It's true.
It's a really good card, if you could turn it into a big card as well. Or do it early. Either or. Ooh. My Yellowstone, Greenstone, and Venom left into Murder World. I'm not sure about this play, Chief.
We're getting a bit of visual lag on the screen, but it's actually making that Venom effect seem a little bit cooler.
Third location revealed, and it is the Vault.
Okay, so Soulstone's sitting on there. If Kineo does want to stack on the vault, gonna have to be careful of how much power that's gonna reduce.
Now, I can only imagine the Vulture coming down, Reality Stone coming down left, and it's going to change it into Avengers Compound. Soulstone right from Kineo as well.
So if you've got something to play in the vault, play it now. Because there's not going to be much more of an opportunity.
There is not.
From what we've seen, neither of these players playing Vision.
No vision involved.
So it's looking like they're going to have to start playing in there, or it's a Space Stone only sort of situation.
It will be.
Now, interesting to see that with Vulture as well.
Space Stone coming down on the left, Power Stone on the right from Kineo, Lockjaw and Space Stone.
And the Leech actually comes out early for Wills this time. That could be critical. Now, insane from Wills there to have placed the Vulture out. Managed to get it to be able to move as well, knowing that Kineo's now locked into just having 3 power in there, with the potential to move 3 more in.
But they're both reduced by
Soul
Soulstone.
Stone. And Kineo actually wants to snap that back.
What does he know
Was that
that we
a Will's return snap?
I think
don't
it
know.
might-
looked
no,
pretty
it-
red on both sides.
It was Will's return because
Will's
Kineo
return.
snapped. Currently in the second game.
Kineo wanted to
Dino.
see it. Moves the Venom in, and it's not going to be enough for the vault.
And the Blue Marvel. Oh.
I'm not sure if Kineo just did not see it.
It's hard to believe that you wouldn't move the Lockjaw, because that is just straightforward play. That's the usual line. But Camp Lee actually warped this game with the Vulture.
Yeah. And it's got to be a toss-up between Kineo didn't see it or he hoped that Wills wouldn't do it like that.
Now, there is a chance that Kineo has Magfa left to pull the Vulture back.
It's true.
And he is up an incredible amount on that lane. Knowing that Wills can't get into it again,
Yep.
Mag will seal the deal here, but he
But the
needs
thing
to
is,
have
pulling that Vulture will buff that Vulture as well. And that is a scary concept.
It is. And he got leeched on 4, and the Dino was the top deck because it didn't have its effect. Is this the hill that Kineo wants to die on? For 8.
How much is he willing to risk? The first round already ended so abruptly. The first series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
I'm not gonna lie, Demo. He had me on edge there.
He did.
I did not know if he was gonna play that out for 8. I really didn't.
I'm glad he didn't.
Yeah, we
glad
get
he
to see
didn't.
some more of this. But
Wakandan Embassy.
we know that Kineo is capable of pulling this back. Will's been playing out of his mind the entire time, and Kineo with another turn 1 snap. It's backfired on him already. But definitely wants to pace back into this game and needs to take the cube advantage.
Getting tense. Yellowstone opener, Quinjet opener.
Ooh.
The rafts.
The interesting thing about the raft is that both players having a space stone in the decks means that they can potentially fill it up quite fast, get something out of there and still be able to play.
And the other player, if they feel that they're going to do that, can potentially redstone it into Oblivion.
Yep. There's also the possibility of lockjaw spam from Kineo, especially having that Quinjet down. So you're going to see 2 cards in there, Mind Stone
Yellowstone's pretty good.
and Time Stone. Power Stone from Will's side, so that shows Will that Kineo can definitely fill it this turn.
It does. Greenstone on 2 is interesting to have 4 mana this turn. I never like doing that personally. We'll see if he can utilise the 4 mana.
But you would think here, yeah,
Yeah, he does.
Kineo definitely willing to make sure he can get something from the raft. So, Space Stone,
Power Stone.
as we discussed, can move something out of there, still makes it a playable lane.
Now, Lockjaw coming down from Will's side into the raft. Dark Dimension is a problem.
Yeah. But it's a problem for both players, which...
More so Kineo because he's so lacking on space and he's not been able to really utilise his on reveals that much.
Yeah.
It depends how quality this raft is. I know when I play a raft, it gives me Arnhem Zola or Destroyer. So
Hey, it might just be the card that Kineo needs.
you never know. YOLO Destroyer right now. He might start moving like a bot and play armor and a bunch of cards and then play Destroyer at the end. You never know.
It could very well be. But Kineo playing more into the Dark Dimension right now than Will's is. And one of them being pulled in. Can safely say they did not want that to happen.
Oh my.
Space Stone being spun there as well means they can move out.
Oh my.
They are under Shang Rage. This is just snowballing in Will's favour.
This is disgusting.
And bear in mind, this was Kineo's first turn snap.
It
again.
was. Whoa. What a game. So he can actually leave the raft knowing full well that there's nothing that he can do about it.
No, there's no way of him pushing enough power. Space Stone's already off the table, been used. You know, an interesting note that all the way through this tournament, at least on the games that have been cast live, we've still yet to see Thanos actually be buffed by a Power Stone.
It's true. We've seen some Thanos win the games by being 11, though.
Oh, yeah. That buff was needed, yeah? Questionable at best. Okay, so the Lockjaw's been moved to Wills, but not utilised, at least not yet.
Ooh. Choices. Now, we know he won the last game by threatening the lockjaw and not actually using it, but it was under Subterranea. Now, you have to win left and right if you're Kineo. I think he's just trying to play out for information and play patterns, and I don't think there's any real reason to stay in this right now.
Will's still considering the turn.
Right, here we
You'd
go.
expect a lot from Kineo here.
Spin to win. Dino.
Oh, that is a good roll.
That should be curtains.
Takes one more spin on it, but you don't know what's coming from the raft.
Big Daddy Mag.
Magneto is not enough. And that is absolutely the game sealed up. I don't think there's any way of getting that much power over there. Apocalypse for free.
Arrow
pulls just that stone. Again, not enough unless
this has to be something insane.
It'd have to be a Blue Marvel. And even then, not quite big enough on the throne room. So that's
wild, man. That's unfortunate.
Game 2, Will's only down 2 cubes and Kineo now clinging on.
Space Throne on the left for the first location.
I would not be surprised to see a red stone go in there from either player, or maybe both at the same time, and a double snap. It's still only going to be for 2, but that's exciting.
Oh. Yellowstone coming down from both players.
Into the same area of the abyss.
Lamentis won. Yo, how do you feel about that? Hope you've got some big cards in hand.
I hope Kineo's got some big cards in hand because I want to see more of this game.
Oh, man. You know he's got lots of stones. You know he's got lots of stones.
But that turn 1 Mind Stone snap tactic backfire.
Yeah. Hold tight the Colgate borders, that Kate Lorana's favourite.
Will's absolutely
Oh! Is Cloggers on the right?
the clog.
Is Cloggers on the right?
Now, it does have the sunspot to be able to soak power into there, but
It's usually what happens on a Lamentis game, a lot of soaking, usually 2-3 form. Not much going on.
and you can guarantee if Kineo had one, it would have been played.
It would.
The lockjaw just
So
pays
sad to see.
is incredibly.
Kineo opened Yellowstone and Lockjaw. And Lamentis won, shredding the game. Now, if we did have some sort of control over the locations for tournaments, I don't think we'd be seeing Lamentis won. Oh my.
Maybe so. It's one of the most game-defining locations. It swings whatever it touches.
Not as bad as District X. Potentially worse than Weird World. I'm not sure. We've got Daddy Mag coming in left.
So Mag attempting to pull the dog into left, and a dino,
but it's
not
not
going to be big.
Oh.
So this is stuck between a hard place and another hard place, and losing the left lane, and it looks like the jig is up.
Yeah.
This is the last game, and there's no way to win it.
GG's.
Understandable, but wow, what a showing!
Congratulations, Wills. Well played.
Commiserations to Kineo, but also really, really well played. Amazing to have got it this far through the tournament. But Will's taking the whole tournament by storm.
Damn.
Not a loss.
Not a loss.
That is a showing.
A lot of games there. No offense to the opponents, but it were a shreddage.
Oh yeah, Will's not just winning, but winning in fully dominating fashion and doing it on stream. What a player.
Absolutely.
Whoo!
Absolute scenes, Catton. Absolute scenes.